bit. Yeah.
There we go.
It's nice and happy.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
Good evening. I didn't do any advertising for this, so I don't implicitly expect for people to just suddenly pop up.
No.
That's a reminder. Where to put my phone? Oh, we're using the phone.
Well, here's
And
my
you don't have Twitter on yours.
No, I do not.
Let's reframe a little bit. Actually, get you more in the frame so that my big ass head's not just taking up the whole space.
Okay.
So, good evening. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us when you do join us. There's somebody.
No, it's me.
Oh, it's you. Oh, of course it is. Yes. So, Chris and I are together for Thanksgiving. We're spending a little bit of time with my family down in Wilmington, North Carolina. And we just wanted to do a little bit of a Thanksgiving thread. Just wanted to touch base. And
Sorry we didn't have an episode this week. My fault, really. Just way too much going on.
And the important thing is that we just wanted to say to everyone here, thank you so much for watching the show, for watching our live streams, for watching us play Fallout and all the other foolishness. It means the world to have you engage and to participate. And it's the reason why we keep doing it. Obviously, didn't have an episode this week because of Thanksgiving. But we really do need to finish this sucker out because we're within, 20 chapters of the end of the book?
We are, technically. We're
something like that.
We're that far.
You said there's 54 chapters.
Yeah, we're literally halfway.
54 and we're at 30 something.
Yeah, so, yay.
Yeah, I think the chapter for the next episode is 31?
Yeah.
I mean, I've listened to the chapter, you know the chapter, we just need to record the episode. Yeah. So we're not going to be talking about the next chapter tonight. It deserves a formal episode.
Yes.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But we just wanted to hop on and say, one, how thankful we are for having you to participate. Thankful we are for KCAT for having the book and blessing us with her presence on the boards and support for the show.
Yeah.
And also we wanted to give an opportunity for any of y'all, if you actually are able to hop on to the live chat and join us tonight. We're just going to stream this for, I don't know, maybe an hour or something.
Yeah.
To let us know what you're thankful for, and just share that because it's a time in America. I should say not all of our fans are in America, but in America, Thanksgiving.
Yeah. We have quite a few who are in Britain, and I think some in Canada. Or no, one's in Canada. That's right.
But Canada has their own Thanksgiving.
The wrong day.
Right. Well, it's a different day. Why do my feet smell like cottage cheese? Well, hello there. I don't know why your feet smell like cottage cheese. You should probably go see a doctor about that.
It could be possible fungus infection.
If nothing else, you need to dry that shit out.
Yes. Also look for
baking soda in your shoes should help.
Yeah, and discoloration, check for that. You don't
and in the event that it is a plantar wart, which is a form of fungus, there is some topical freezing solution that you can put on it. That'll clear that stuff up pretty quick.
No, I do want to say as well, we are not medical professionals and cannot give actual medical advice.
You should... all of ours is anecdotal. Not anecdotal, but it's it's a first-hand account of personal experiences with fungus. For yourself, I don't want to tell tales, but between beard fungus, crotch fungus, and eye fungus, I think you've pretty much run the gambit.
But it doesn't help much. Yeah, that's a sign you probably have fungus.
Yeah, if odor eaters can't do it. Yeah, that's some pretty hardcore stuff.
Yes.
They do. I was going to say, they actually do use some pretty heavy-duty prescription stuff.
Yeah. You can also go to any pharmacy location, talk to a pharmacist.
And tell him you got stinky feet?
Yeah.
I do have to ask, have you actually been stepping in cottage cheese? That's an important thing for us to be able to rule out.
Yes, that might be different.
Yeah.
I actually don't, I'm going to be honest, I don't know if cottage cheese smells much.
Yeah, I was going to say, cottage cheese has kind of a mild, it smells like milk, but it doesn't smell spoiled.
It's mild.
So you don't step in cottage cheese. Well, I had to ask just to be able to rule it out. So for everyone else who may have just hopped on to the stream, wanted to let you know that we're just hopping on to say how thankful we are to have you engage and watch and share with your friends the show and talk about just a little bit of what we're thankful for. And we were hoping to hear from y'all what you're thankful for, what's most important to you at this time of the year.
Even if you're not in the U.S., and even if you do not understand or go with Thanksgiving, turkey, all that jazz, it doesn't mean that you can't be thankful for something something, and doesn't mean you shouldn't set aside time to be thankful for something.
Tis the reason for the season, and that deserves a toast.
Well, technically, 'tis the season for the reason yesterday. Today, the reason for the season is buy, buy, buy.
There was certainly a lot of buying going on today.
Yeah, I got all that out of the way.
This episode is being brought to you by unnamed American bourbon, a whiskey, if you might say. But we're not sponsored by them, so we're not going to.
So technically, we're not brought to you by them.
Yeah.
They're just keeping us aloft.
Everybody who watches this show is going to think we're alcoholics.
Thanks.
Actually, this is not a Thanksgiving get-together. It is it's an intervention. I'm calling it an intervention on myself.
Yes.
Oh, you don't eat meat?
Oh.
So I will say, because I've known a couple other vegans in my lifetime, or vegetarians in general, you do have to be careful with that, because if you do it for too long, your eyes will slowly start to drift to the side of your head, like all prey. You know, it's a natural biological response.
Oh boy.
But no, I'm sure your reasons for not consuming meat are your own. I don't mean to pick on you. I'm just having a little bit of fun.
Yeah, I mean, I've known a lot of people who don't eat meat.
You know, it's funny. I love meat, but I'm practically a vegetarian.
Yeah.
I mean, there's whole days where all my wife and I will eat our vegetables. So, I mean, all I grow is vegetables.
I'm afraid I am prevented from ever being a vegan. I literally can't ever be a vegan. Even if I stopped eating any animal produce and stopped using any animal byproducts, still couldn't be a vegan. It'd be impossible.
Yeah.
Because I have an animal transplant.
Yes.
And as long as it's inside of me,
exactly.
I can't.
You are literally existing off of the flesh of another animal.
Yeah, and until they actually change that in the far future, I can be vegetarian. I can be a vegetarian because technically they use the prosthetics postmortem.
You know, given enough time, eventually, you know, they will drift. It's just a matter of time. I mean, look at rabbits, squirrels.
Just remember to listen to Eurobeat as they drift.
For our vegetarian/vegan, I don't know what you are, but to each your own. For you, though, I'm a gardener, avid gardener, grow a ton of produce, and I have chickens, but we don't eat the chickens. We eat the eggs. Yet. We don't eat, well, no, we're not going to eat the chickens. Bree named all of them, so that's not happening. The day I brought them home, she's like, this one's this one, and this one's this one, and now you can't eat them. And I said, well, that's fine. That's fair. They produce delicious eggs. And if you're vegan, obviously, you know.
No eggs. But if you're vegetarian, eggs fine.
Yeah, eggs are good. Eggs are a good protein source. Yeah. And they don't know any different. They're pretty stupid. One of them...
they are very low life forms.
I'm not going to say if. I'm going to say when one of them dies, they basically start eating them within the hour. I mean, yes. They are some reptilian bastards is what they are. Like, you're like, oh, chickens, they're fluffy, they're cute. No, they're dinosaurs. Vegetarian, oh, good, then you're not the obnoxious kind. Sorry. Yes. Sorry, I had a couple friends in college who were vegans, and they were the preachiest mother effers.
I can completely understand why you would be vegetarian. I actually can understand that because there's enough studies and there's enough health benefits to not overeating meat that it makes sense, and you can actually get away with a lot of that stuff. Being a vegan, you have to substitute a lot of your diet. I eat way too much cheese.
Well, that's why your feet smell like cottage cheese.
Yeah,
it's just seeping. It's permeated.
Well,
your skin.
if you laid more flat, it would just go to your back, and your back would smell like cottage cheese because it just goes to the lowest part of your body. That's science, kids.
I'm gonna say I don't think.
Yeah, you're not a regular on our show that I
know but thank you. Hold on a second. Stupid. I'm sure if my phone ever buzzes, it's because there's notifications coming through. I should have turned them off, but I didn't. Now it's too late.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know if you're just here for the live stream or here for.
But Melodies, thanks for joining us. Are you a fan of the show, or are you just hopping on the live stream?
Yeah. Either way, I don't care.
I'm happy that you're here.
Yeah, we could be thankful for things. Promise not to do the Randy Stare thing where we just don't talk and expect that somebody's going to pop in.
No, we're not. We can always fill dead air.
We're not going to shoot 50 rounds into a grocery store and only kill 3 people. Too soon?
What?
Too soon?
Yeah, you just lost a viewer for that.
Oh,
too edgy.
Randomly
found the stream. Interesting.
Well, I don't know if you know anything about what we do, but you may be horrified, so be prepared.
Well, then I'll summarize it for you quite quickly. we do a podcast on YouTube, among other things, about a My Little Pony fan fiction that was involves My Little Pony and Fallout. The only thing is, and I should clarify, he's a brony. I am not. That's the crux of the show.
I'm sure I'm growing back my underbeard to make sure. So
Yeah,
it'll
you're
be
just
back in a
missing your
little bit.
trilby. You need your trilby so you can milady everyone.
I need a trench coat. Need a trench coat, a underbeard, and a trilby. However, I'm not an atheist, so that does bring me down a point on the on that scale.
Checkmate, atheists.
Lady.
What was the thing that people always say in My Little Pony forums about if there's no God?
Oh,
Then why is
if
something-
God doesn't exist, then why is it a horse?
Checkmate, atheists. That's so dumb. That's just so dumb. But it's funny because most dumb things are funny. Like this live stream.
Yeah, well,
Actually, it's not that dumb.
it's not that funny either.
Not yet. Get a few more of this unlabeled bourbon in us, and you'll see all sorts of fun. That's when the clothes start to come off. Actually, that's what we do. We set up our Patreon so that you pay us to keep our clothes on. We use it as a veiled threat.
I feel like just not watching the stream would be incentive enough. I don't know.
No, that's not a choice. They have to watch the stream because we're beaming it not only into their homes, but into their minds.
Do we have that technology?
Do we have that technology?
I know
They're
they-
turning the fucking frogs gay. They've got the technology to beam images into your head.
Let
Why
it be
not?
known, ours is one of the few YouTube accounts not suspended yet. So,
Yeah, what was the thing that happened today? It was all the accounts that had this was a My Little
Lunar.
Pony thing.
It was a new Lunar. Any pony accounts that were related to anything with new Lunar all got removed or suspended because new Luna, these two words together, were a keyword in YouTube's algorithm to catch pornography distribution. I didn't
Right.
say child pornography distribution, but just pornography distribution. So there have been a lot of people who've been suspended from YouTube. Thankfully, we weren't one. So
I mean,
probably,
I don't want to use a YouTube live stream to talk shit about YouTube, so I'm not going to.
I will. Fuck them.
Well, I mean, yeah, so
Yeah, no, they really need because how could they possibly look at this and think, oh
it's
yeah,
kind of a lazy algorithm if you think about it.
well, I mean, it's not only that. It's like, how well are you operating your site, and you know it's a problem. There's no way that the YouTube administration doesn't go, oh shit,
Yeah.
we fucked up.
So the rest of our family currently is watching the what is it? Why Him movie starring Bryan Cranston and James Franco. Yeah, it's kind of a cinematic abortion.
Kind of.
A lot of rip-off
It's
jokes.
it's literally Hollywood, the movie. Just like everything they
Well,
think
La-
is cool,
La-
everything they think is popular, everything they think is relevant.
In fairness, La La Land is Hollywood the movie, but this is more just kind of like
I feel like La La Land is Hollywood the movie from the perspective of everything that has ever been made in Hollywood. This is Hollywood the movie from the perspective of I live in LA and this
La
is my
La
life.
Land does raise an interesting point. And this is from someone who enjoys musicals. But musicals are so full of tropes, predictable tropes. It's like, oh, hello, good evening.
Adraxis, yeah.
Let me finish my thought. But musicals are so full of predictable tropes that you always know where they're going. This is the scene where I'm talking to you. I'm not singing a song. I'm talking to you.
And you always know when the music's going to cue up and they're going to start singing because it's time of conflict.
Show-stopping number. But Draxus, welcome. We are doing a live stream where we're talking about how thankful we are for y'all for tuning into the show, tuning into the live streams when we play games, being as supportive as you have been, and being involved in the message boards and
I
such.
know we're kind of a day late, but hopefully not $1
Well,
short.
everybody's busy on the holiday. Very few people could have actually done it on the holiday.
True.
But the other thing is, we wanted this to be an
I
opportunity
feel really bad for you if
to
you didn't
share.
have anything to do. That means that you don't have anyone to do it with.
We wanted to have let this be an opportunity for y'all to share what you're thankful for, and for us to be able to pat you on the back for it. So if
Even if, again, like I said before, even if you're not in the U.S., even if you're in Canada and it was technically a while back, it's not a bad time. It's never a bad time to think about
Just
what
be
you're appreciative
thankful,
of
yeah.
all the good parts in all the good things in your life.
Well, and I think that's one of the things people in the last couple of years have kind of gotten caught up with the, Americans and Thanksgiving and Native Americans and such.
Also, I am thankful for the existence of all Latinas.
Aren't we all, right?
Are.
I mean, who else is going to pick our broccoli and...
Oh. Oh, why did you have to go there?
First world problems.
Yeah, no. No, I understand where you're coming from, though.
Do you now?
You have to look at the sign and be like, fiery passion, fiery temper, but the body.
Unless there's something you need to tell me, this gentleman here has never dated a Latina. But
No, I've not.
It may have not been
Just
for
because I
lack of trying.
just because I haven't dated somebody doesn't mean I'm not attracted to the body type.
That's true. Just because you haven't climbed Mount Everest doesn't mean you don't want to do it.
Yeah, doesn't mean I don't like mountains.
However, like climbing Mount Everest, I only see you and a Latina ending with you short of breath and lying dead and frozen on the side of a cliff.
Probably near the base. I wouldn't.
Earston.
I would be honest. I wouldn't. Just like Mount Everest, I wouldn't get very far.
I'm glad you liked our response. Check out the show sometime. The Foley of Man. Hi everybody. Welcome to the show, The Foley of Man. Remember to check us out on the web. By the way, this episode is brought to you by beer.
Usually it's brought to you. Actually, last one
tonight it's brought to you by, remember this old chestnut? Happy Times Whiskey.
Nobody here remembers that.
Well, they don't remember it. You remember it.
What does it matter if I remember it?
Yeah. Happy Times Whiskey, though, came from our old video game streams. That wasn't even back in the random frequency days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a long time ago.
We used to do a podcast when we were in high school called Random Frequency. You can't find it. It's not on the web. I mean, you may be able to find some pictures. It was pretty dumb.
Well, it might be on archive.
The MP3s are not, but the images are certainly still out there.
Huh.
But anyways, it was called Random Frequency, and it was a really fun show. We had a couple iterations. There was you, me, and our friend Bobby, and then we had our friend Kyle on.
Yeah, Kyle.
Incorporated my brother-in-law Jacob for a while.
Yeah.
So it was a good time.
Yeah. Good old Kyle. What a douche.
Jesus. Yeah, this is on the internet.
He like he talks to us anymore. If he responded to anything I told him, then yeah, I wouldn't feel that way. But when all he does is ignore us, then there you go. Yeah.
That probably has got a weird people out. I just realized it doesn't mean anything to me, but like a giant finger coming towards the camera, it's got to be.
Unless somebody's wearing a VR headset and somehow your camera's recording in VR, which it's not.
Place 3D glasses on now.
And the problem with it is that the 3D glasses are
remove
actually
3D glasses now.
Vertical now, so that if somebody
remember that trope from TV, like when you'd watch an episode and be like, "This is the episode of the Drew Carey Show with 3D," and it's like put on 3D glasses, and then they'd like throw shit at the screen.
I married a Latina to help her with her papers.
A mongoloid? Jesus Christ!
How rude.
Yeah. I mean, unless you look like a fucking mongoloid, then probably it was deserved. But that's like a 1960s term. I haven't heard somebody use the term mongoloid.
In a serious way. I mean, yeah, of course, it's still thrown around, but what? What? I mean, you're going to have to be a little more specific. I don't remember you being here before, so if you're new, then I guess I always thought that the mongoloid was a term of endearment. It depends on context.
Well, how I understand the term is that it means that you look mentally handicapped.
Yeah. Much like fabric softener. A little downy.
What is the term ID, intellectually disabled? Sarcasm is hard in text.
Yeah.
'Tis true.
No,
by the way, hello, Thomas. Welcome to the live stream. Chris and I are just saying how thankful we are for everybody who's tuned in and commented and supported us. And we wanted this to be an opportunity, one, to drink bourbon and shoot shit, but also for anybody who wanted to talk about what they're thankful for.
Yeah, so if you're thankful for anything, go ahead and tell us now, and I don't know.
Oh, or if you're not thankful for something, if there's something that's a thorn in your side, let's do a rosebud thorn. Let's talk about, something that was good, something that you're looking forward to, and something that was a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Rose, bud, and thorn.
Yeah.
So what was something good from the last 2 days?
Just hanging out with you guys. Thanksgiving dinner. Just having a good time with people who consider me family.
Starting Thanksgiving, watching the Macy's Day Parade yesterday
Yeah.
morning with everybody. That's got to be my rose.
Muting it, having the mute button on the TV, that is a fantastic feature, especially when
You know,
somebody
it's-
comes up with some really terrible music.
I don't know what it's like for y'all, but like, so coming back with family, we don't ever watch broadcast television.
No.
Ever. We stream everything. And even then, it's like YouTube, Netflix, Amazon. You know, there's never any advertisements. So to watch, like, actual hardline TV, it's just...
And have it just blurt out some kind of, like, 15...
And to hear somebody...
minutes
And
of
then to
just-
hear somebody be like, oh, you have to see this commercial. It's so funny. Consume, consume, consume. And I'm a pretty capitalist guy, but still...
John
it's like-
Carpenter is a magnificent bastard. He's still alive, isn't he? Or did he just recently pass away?
I mean, I don't know why
No,
not.
I'm thinking that wrong. I think John Carpenter did pass away. It's Don Bluth who's
so
still alive.
so we had a rose. What's your bud? What's something you're looking forward to?
Oh goodness, a lot of stuff. I'm looking forward to the holidays because I have a few presents for some people, which I want to see them have. Because the best part about gifts is getting the reaction from other people when you actually give them. Because
Agreed.
that is the most
How
amazing.
was
experience.
my reaction when you gave me the new computer?
You cried.
It was pretty flabbergasted. Yeah, that was pretty good. Well, like I couldn't wrap my head around it. I'm like, but what do you mean? We have to install these components, and you're like,
No, you don't.
No, you don't. It's right here.
I got him.
I couldn't process it. It's like does not compute.
If you saw the live stream, then you saw I talked about that was my computer. But it was an FX 8350, 12 gigs of RAM, and I put in there a new 1060 6 gig, just for him to play. And because all he had was like an old HP that had like an A.
It was stock.
It was like
Well, no, it wasn't stock. We had put a better video card in there, but I forgot to ask Thomas. So, how'd you find the live stream? Are you actually a fan of the show, or did you just click on it just out of random because you saw a live stream pop up? I'm always curious where people come from because we have people who follow our podcast and our channel, but we've had a couple of people here that just pop on, tune in to see kind of what we're doing. You're subbed. Well, fantastic. I didn't. If you've commented before, I'm sorry. I didn't recognize the name.
More, please.
Oh, more.
Yes, you only stuttered once this entire time. We need to get this train rolling.
Gotta
The
get
train
this party.
has sailed.
Yeah, I'm doing a lot of talking and not a lot of drinking. Oh boy, everybody.
But yeah, what he had before was I want to say it was like an A4800. It was some really low rent AMD.
That would explain it. I don't blame you. Between the two of us, we have a ton of accounts.
Yeah, I mean it ends up happening where
The problem is too. So we both dabble in tech stuff for other people. So like I'll manage other accounts for people. On occasion, like I find with every contract work I do, people will basically add me to their organization on Facebook to like upload pictures, video, graphic designs, and then I'm stuck with their notifications for freaking forever.
Yeah.
So it's like my as stupid as Facebook is, my Facebook notifications, like on my phone, if you look, you'd be like, Jesus Christ, 100 notifications, but it's all stupid shit that I've helped out with before. What would you do if you found out that the other has been a robot this whole time? Well, obviously. Kill him.
Let's be honest, you wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I would explain quite a bit of the Asperger's behavior that we've witnessed on a couple of occasions.
I don't understand humor. What are you talking about?
But yeah, found out if he was a robot. Well, then the question is, thank you Fallout 4. Am I a robot?
God, they almost forgot that storyline. Like they almost complete. I was actually proud of Bethesda for not going into the. But what if Synth, which would be the
Far Harbor.
stupidest, most cliched, most overdone, obvious, pointless
let's say.
storyline.
So I definitely have critiques of Fallout 4, but I enjoyed Fallout 4. The combat was fun. The companions were I thought the companion system was the best it's ever been.
Yeah.
Like, it was meaningful. It had purpose to complete a companion's quest, and it was meaningful to instead of having a karma system, having a companion karma system where it allowed you, if you wanted to be a villain, just pick a companion that didn't give a shit what you did.
Or who liked
Who
being a
liked
villain.
the things. Yeah.
Well, there's also the thing.
I was more of a
with,
piper
with
than
Far
a Kate,
Harbor,
though, because I'm a goody two-shoes.
Far Harbor was very clearly supposed to be John Carpenter's The Fog.
Right.
Easily. Everything
Except
it.
the fog wasn't that dangerous.
Well, that's the thing, is it was supposed to be, and then they just completely fucked it up.
So I have to say, who is your favorite companion from Fallout 4?
None of them.
Ah, son of a bitch.
I hate
That is
companions.
not the answer. You have to pick one. Which
Valentine.
okay.
I
agree.
actually only played with them for about 5 minutes, and that was it.
Even in Far Harbor, hardcore Curie. Now, I actually loved the Curie storyline. So I played through, he'll tell you, I played through all of the companion quests in Fallout 4 because I was curious. I wanted to see what they were. Yeah, Curie was great. And especially the idea of, like, here's this robot, you give her light. Sorry, spoilers. 2 years, 3 years after the game came out.
God, has it been that long?
Yeah, two years, something like that.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, but anyways, Curie, when you put her in the body of a synth, and then she essentially falls in love with you, she can be a romanceable companion, which is interesting because she's like, all these feelings and experiences I'd never had before. I didn't, it's
Well, think about it like...
kind of weird, though.
if
It's
you-
like having one of
If
those
you remember old Doctor Who...
Japanese fuck pillows.
that
that
hologram. That hologram that they've made, that's the little anime character that
Yeah.
controls your house and gives you regular updates on
Hello, Smithers. You sure turn me on.
Don't look at that. I found the
With a
quest in
few-
FF4 with a few
to be-
exceptions to be boring as shit. Yeah. Well, a lot of it was based on the Radiant quest system, with a few exceptions.
Yeah.
The one where you're supposed to rescue the guy's son from the molten lava.
You know what? Here's the deal.
plant.
There
It's just not fun.
were a lot of go fetch quests.
Yeah.
But that's all Fallout games. That's literally all Fallout games. Yes.
Sort of.
Yes.
I mean, it depends on how well you tie into the reasoning. I mean,
The
technically,
one thing. So here's my biggest critique of Fallout. Can I just
Yeah.
say this? My biggest critique of Fallout 4 is that they had 3 DLC dedicated to settlements because they assumed that settlements would be the best part of the game. The fact of the matter is most of us don't give a shit about The Sims, and that's what settlements are.
Well, technically, it wasn't as good as The Sims, which is really depressing because they could have actually made something interesting, and they
But
completely
here's
fell
the
flat.
deal. They wanted you to use the settlements as a way to create resources for yourself to make
If
the
I
game
may,
easier.
if I may.
All right.
Okay, so in defense of the original statement, all RPG games are go activate. It's either go to here, do this, go here, kill a thing, go here, rescue a thing, or just go here. I mean, it's one of those. So you're always going to have that kind of thing.
I mean-
but here, let me continue.
All right, I'll stop.
What's wrong with Fallout 4? Controls, dialogue, voiced
You have
protagonist.
so I just want to. You had problems with the controls?
Yes, the controls are awful. Absolutely awful.
I thought they were better than Fallout 3. And
But-
the gunplay is better than New Vegas.
It doesn't matter. They're still
Like,
awful. Why?
So,
It doesn't.
an example: when you actually level a sniper rifle on somebody and you shoot them in the head, it hits them in the head.
Yes, that's better. Okay, but hear me out on this.
I mean,
Why?
No.
Hold on.
I just
Hold on.
wanna-
Let me ask you this: why is the melee attack bound to the grenade hotkey?
so I agree with you on that.
Why?
However,
did they do
again,
that?
that's
why is it when you're
fixable.
going? Why is it that when you're going through
That's
the
fixable with a mod,
it doesn't-
which all these games are. But let me finish something. Why are we excited about being able to aim a rifle at something and it actually hit what we're aiming at when that has been in all other shooters for 15 years?
Technically, New Vegas had that. Fallout 3 didn't have that.
New Vegas is still hit or miss.
Iron
We
Sights
literally
better.
were streaming. TTW or TFW. What is it?
TTW.
TTW. We were streaming TTW last week, and I was aiming at something, pulling the trigger, and it wasn't hitting them.
Okay, let me add a little bit more.
Oh, we got some more people here. Hello.
Hello. Okay, so let me add a little bit more.
For context, we're talking about Fallout 4 currently.
The dialogue system was awful. Everyone agrees. I don't think there's any human being that goes, there's only 4 options, this is the best game ever. There is no one who's going to agree with that. Now, it could have been handled in a way to where it wasn't sucky, because Mass Effect had 6 options, but if you did branching dialogue trees, it could actually work. They never actually did that well enough, really. And most of the dialogue went down to yes, no, maybe, or yes, no, question, and sarcasm, I think. It just boiled down to just hitting down for everything to be a good person. Do plants have feelings?
No.
No.
If they did, you probably wouldn't be vegetarian. You'd
However-
probably be a 5th level vegan where you don't eat anything that casts a shadow.
However, not all, but some plants are sentient. So keep that in mind.
Sentient?
Yes, react to physical stimuli.
That doesn't... That's a very low...
It's the
standard
definition
for
of.
sentient.
That's
That means
the
they're
definition.
reactive. So you're saying a Venus flytrap is sentient?
Yes, because it reacts to physical stimuli. That is the definition. That's how it has to go. Okay, so the last part. What made Fallout 4 bad was the voice protagonist, and it's because they didn't
I
go
agree with that.
far enough with it. You also can't be a bad
That's
person
not
in
true.
Fallout 4. Yeah, I mean, you can. It just isn't really supported by the story.
Yeah, then Sunflower's also sentient. I disagree with his definition of sentience.
As far as I know, that's the actual dictionary definition. So
Well, I don't
tough
know
shit.
enough to complain, so I'm just going to say I disagree. So.
Rocks aren't sentient, so we can go with that.
But, sorry, what was the last one about Fallout
you also
4?
can't be a bad person in Fallout 4.
Right, you can do bad things, but I think what they're saying is that in the final storyline,
Can you support your plan?
guy on left. Are
Left. Maybe
you
left.
mean me? Thomas Young, able to perceive or feel things.
Well, technically, the Venus
I think-
flytraps are.
I think
It's physical feeling.
it's a reaction.
White shirt.
shirt.
Oh, I mean, that's just going by the definition. Done. I mean, that's just it. Battery power at 15%. That sucks.
Son of a... Are you kidding me? All right. Hold on a second. I shall return with the charger.
It's just
plug in
dictionary definition.
Plug in this power strip.
All right. That's just dictionary definition. That's all. Nothing more. I mean, I'm not saying that plants actually cognizantly feel. I mean, that would be more sapience than sentience. But I'll just go with whatever. I'm gonna have to unplug this and just go with that. I mean, so not bad. I mean, that's nothing fantastical. I was just pointing out the weirdness of the definition, I guess. Yeah.
Oh no!
Oh no. Welcome back. Anyway, so yeah,
Is that going to work for you?
that works just fine.
Okay.
The voice protagonist is definitely going to be the worst part in Fallout 4, and the reason why. Okay, you start out as an individual in pre-war. This is your home. This is where I'm assuming you were born. It's never really fully explained exactly what depth you have with the Boston area,
So that is one of the things. So it really... Fallout 4 pushes you into a storyline that you don't have a choice of. So I will say in Fallout 4, you and I both didn't give a shit about Sean.
no.
We avoided the main quest forever.
Find me the individual who gave a shit about Sean.
There are those people, but they're console peasants.
Anyway,
That being said, I would like to be a console peasant again, but only for the Nintendo Switch. And only because I just desperately want to play the next Zelda game. It looks so good.
waves.
Hey! Thank you very much for joining us tonight, K-Cat.
Be sure to tell us what you were thankful for, as
Right.
we're trying to go with what
So,
we're thankful for and not thankful for.
I was going to say, since
I
K-Cat
guess
just
this relates
tuned
to
in,
Fallout
we
4.
actually mentioned you at the top of the show, saying that we are thankful for you for writing this book and being so involved with this show. And, you know, your support means the world to us. It makes it more meaningful. And
Oh, yeah.
the reason we really keep doing this is because the amazing community that surrounds us.
No problem.
So we just wanted to do a stream to say thank you, and also to provide an opportunity for all of you to share what you're thankful for, because
Yeah.
I think that's we're a community here.
Yeah.
We're family, but I don't know if
In
y'all
some
if y'all
way,
want to
any
feel like we're
community can be a family. So I mean, that's
mean,
something to take into account.
We'd love to do more hangouts.
The community is what I am thankful for too.
Yep. It's gives you the warm fuzzies.
Duh.
So, and especially because we're really shitty and we just decided at the last minute to do a stream. We didn't do any Twitter or Facebook or anything. We just, we're just going to throw it up. If
Yeah.
anybody wants to hop on, we'd be happy to see him.
Yeah. So there's that. But yeah, we were going on about the voice protagonist in Fallout 4 and
Right,
why it's a bad
right.
thing. But going back on it, so you have this character who exists in this world space. Their entire world space is shattered. If you've ever seen most episodes of the Twilight Zone, the early episodes of it, they went very heavily into what happens to an individual when their world converts into something that is similar but wrong. And this was a perfect opportunity to get that kind of aspect, that kind of focus in. So you have as Nate is going along, he comes across a car that he recognizes as being his neighbor, or the gas attendant that he always said hi to.
Right. So he says things, and it's like it doesn't mean anything to us.
Well, the thing is, they didn't include that. They included absolutely no interaction with the world space.
That's not true. No, that's not true.
Very, very little.
I was going to say there are scripted dialogue lines where Nate or Nora will say when you approach things.
Yeah, but it's so rare. You're talking about somebody who's from the past, whose their entire world space has been put up. They're going to be a little more.
So what you're saying is, wait, you wanted more of that?
I wanted it to feel as though they understood what was going on.
I would rather there be none of it.
So would I. But if they're going to go for it, either all or do none.
We got this damn whore and Madonna complex. All right, what do you want?
Nothing.
Okay, then don't say you wanted more of that.
I said I would have preferred. I would have preferred they had gone all in. They didn't go all in. They went a little bit. It's interesting that they tried to go there. I think it could have worked had they actually tried to go all in.
But I do agree with you. The limited dialogue options were interesting. So like in Fallout 3, for instance, you would have sometimes 10 things to choose from to say.
Yeah. And
there were a lot of dialogue branches, but the reason why they limited it was you had a voiced actor saying your dialogue.
As well, they were trying to make it a
little more
Now, I will
say, hold on a second.
Okay. I am thankful to be in a time with such technological advances. Oh, yes.
Exactly, and makes you a disconnect between the character, because the whole idea is that you are the character. That's right. That's the story.
I think. Okay, let me pose to you in a way of an interesting. They make one mistake. That they intended to be a really cool connection, but it actually ended up failing. When I started writing this, I was hoping it'd be maybe get a dozen readers, 2 if I was lucky. Instead, I have gained this wonderful community filled with amazing and creative and pleasant people, and several very close friendships.
And fuckers like me who, had no idea. And, I've told you before, K-Cat, I'm a fan.
Mm-hmm. Aw, lol.
I'm not a brony. I am not a brony.
I never said you were.
You should take that as a compliment to and a testament to your writing ability.
In that he did not actually become a brony to actually enjoy the work.
But you find yourself pulling for Little Pip. You find yourself also asking, can we have a little bit less Little Pip setting records for orgasms in an evening? But other than that,
lewdiness. So
what was it? 31? 31 was the most recent one.
I don't remember. We'll talk about this. 23 or 31.
I think it was 30. Anyway, whatever. It's in the next chapter when we actually do the episode talking about the next chapter. We're not going to talk about the next chapter in this because that is disrespectful to the chapter. The chapter needs its own episode.
Let me finish that thought real quick. So, as a problem, when you go into the bunker, what happens? Your spouse dies. That was the one kid. There's only a few connections you have to the prior world.
They lose me after the bunker scene.
Yes. But your spouse dies. That was one of the 2 connections you had to the prior world, okay? They came with you into the vault. You have your child and you have your spouse. What happens when you leave? You go and see your butler. It completely and totally shatters the idea that the only thing connecting you to your old life is your child, because that's a little bit more.
Adraxis. I wasn't a brony when I first read Fallout Equestria either. Wait, how'd you find... All right, I have to know. All right. How did you find it if you weren't a brony?
Yes, please tell us. That's actually
interesting. Really fascinating.
I have actually met very few people who
Funny you should ask. So...
TV tropes. Yes.
What?
Yeah, no, TV Tropes has a massive page on it because the TV Tropes people were actually massively into it.
Thank you for your honesty.
Mm-hmm. It's one of the few fan fictions that actually has a TV Trope page.
You know what I'm going to find out is that it's actually you. It's just you. You harass people. I'm just the next one. You've spent a lot of time and energy on me, but it's like that's all you do is you just harass people into reading this book.
He knows. Shut it down. I did first start writing it in a Fallout community. Yeah, you told us about that, the Fallout 3 modding board, which no longer exists.
Yeah. So, in fairness, though, you have to admit that Fallout 4 did a good job of making the series more cinematic.
If you switched bodies for a day, there are actually a lot of fanfics with pages on TV Tropes.
If I switched bodies for a day, I guess for We Are All Chris. His name was Robert Paulson. We are Robert Paulson. If we switched bodies for a day, well, I guess I'd finally know what it's like to be uncircumcised.
TMI?
You don't have to admit it.
TMI? Hey, look, regardless, it's TMI.
I don't believe in too much information.
YouTube does.
Like, for instance, I have a pimple on my butt right now. Don't worry. It'll take care of itself.
Save me. Okay, yes, there are actually a lot of fan fictions.
Jesus, TMI!
Okay.
Well,
yes.
actually, for it's funny. What would it be like to be in your body for a day?
A lot of chest pain. You would notice a lot more chest pain than you usually do.
It's funny. We both have heart issues, but they're on the complete opposite. I mean, they're just different spectrums.
Just different aspects completely.
Yours is congenital. Well, I guess mine is a form of congenital because it's inherited, but it's not what you have.
No. No, I was going to say, yes, there are a lot of fanfics with pages on TV tropes. However, I'm talking about the fact that there are a lot of fanfictions. And think about how many of those are actually on TV tropes.
Do you know what my first exposure to fanfics were? It was DeviantArt back in the day.
Yeah.
I mean, because people used to post their fanfics there.
Sonic? No.
No.
Not Sonic. Oh my God.
Chris the Hedgehog. Just Google search Chris the Hedgehog.
Do not under any circumstance.
Yes, Google search Chris the Hedgehog.
Thanks for the compliments. By the way, I absolutely agree with the voice protagonist. The voice didn't make the character feel more connected to the world space and bring out more gravitas.
Jesus, are you guys hard? So, Chris was born with a
aortic valve that was too small, so they decided to use a balloon procedure, which looks like a party balloon on the end of a. Looks like a party balloon on the end of a straw, and they blew. But the problem is it ripped the valve. So years later, they had to go replace the valve, and now I've had it replaced 2 times. So it's part of a cow, part of a pig, part of actually plastic. Yeah. Dacron, which is what makes up shag carpeting and milk cartons.
Yeah, some fashion.
Well, milk cartons.
And
polyethylene.
My stuff it's pretty easy. I have high blood pressure and high cholesterol that runs on both sides of my family, and both hit me when I was a child.
I love the term hypertension because it literally means we have no idea what's wrong with you.
No. Idiopathic. Idiopathic means it is what it is, and we don't know why. But yeah, we've both been poked and prodded a million times. At least with him, they know what the problem was. For me, I just take a pill and hope that nothing ever becomes of it.
Oh yeah.
But ain't medical science grand? I'll take it. Also, I have Tourette's. So if I ever, fidget or tick, yeah.
He doesn't. Well, he swears. He swears like a sailor. But
it has nothing to do with the Tourette's.
No, he doesn't do that weird Tourette's.
I'm sure. Good luck, guys. Yeah. Well, we're not fucking dying.
Yeah, not yet.
Actually, to quote your cardiologist, you don't have anything wrong. I fixed you.
Yeah. Well, no. He said I have nothing more wrong with me than anyone with a replacement heart valve.
That's correct.
Yeah. Now. Before.
Yeah. No, you're in good shape, man. Yeah. He's a hell of a surgeon.
Yeah.
He really was a hell of a surgeon. I mean,
now I don't have a blocked coronary artery.
It's
which I had before, apparently.
It's just amazing. Medical technology is fascinating. What were you talking about?
It's absolutely fascinating for those who understand. Have seen Werewolf. Warwolf.
But yeah, I'm sure y'all have noticed that I fidget a lot or sometimes do weird things. That's just what it is.
Yeah. And jerk, spasm, tick, that kind of thing. But it is what it is. I have idiopathic hand
tremors. Yeah,
I'm sorry about that. Yeah, no, that's
I have a little. Obviously, it's not the same as yours. I have a little bit of that uneasy steadiness with my Tourette's. I really get.
I hate to make fun. I
really
get
tired
do.
I get tired of dropping
the plates.
things.
whenever you're washing the dishes.
I drop things a million times.
The problem is he gets so angry at himself for it and it's sad because he'll literally be going to put plates away. He'll tick and he'll drop the plates and they'll smash, and he'll be so frustrated. And I understand it's
frustrating.
It is, but you can't.
All right, let's move on to something
else.
I know. Let's move on to something else. We don't need to talk about.
Hey, no. You said the rose, the bud, and the thorn.
I had heartburn once. Oh, Jesus, man.
That's really bad. You need to go to a doctor. Actually, see somebody for that.
Somebody else in the stream earlier was having trouble with stinky feet. Kidney stone. Crap. Did you pass it? Please. Did you actually pass the kidney stone?
Are you eating jade?
No. I want to know because passing a kidney stone is this close to childbirth. Because people think stone and they think smooth. No, it's jagged like a morning star.
Oh, and it just cuts all the way down.
If I ever have a kidney stone, I'm going to turn it into jewelry.
Gross.
Yeah, man.
Gross.
Do a nose ring, but do a dermal and put it right in the tip of my nose.
No. No.
Oh, God. Kidney stones are bad. They actually run in my wife's family. That's something that she's concerned about. Like, everyone on her mom's side of the family have had kidney stones.
I wouldn't be surprised from how she acts, so...
I don't know what that means. And I'm.
Her dietary habits are probably really interesting.
Are you talking about my wife or her family?
Her family. Let's see. I have heartburn, often mild acid reflux. Have to drink multiple glasses of milk a day to keep it under control, which is problematic at conventions. Ooh, yeah.
What is the most disgusting... Wait, what does it say?
What is the most disgusting... what is the most disgusting that you have ever seen? Most disgusting... That's an interesting... I don't know what that question pertains to. Like, thing on the internet or thing that we've had with ourselves?
They run in mine too, yay.
Oh.
Yeah, kidney stones. There seems to be a strange genetic element for them. And KCAT, the milk sounds... that sounds like a pain, but I couldn't do that because I'm a lactard.
Yeah, if you were lactose intolerant and actually...
Most
had to do that,
disgusting
that'd be
thing
awful.
I have seen in general.
Most disgusting thing we've seen in general.
I've seen a lot of dead animals.
Yeah.
Those are pretty gross, especially in some states of falling apart.
Oh, those tumors that people get that have like parts of their body grow inside of them. To where like you can cut it, like it's a tumor that grows in part of your body, and when you cut it open, it's got like teeth and bones inside.
It's pretty gross.
That's gross. That's the grossest thing. Didn't you watch the Spoopy episode? No. Ritmo is actually a new watcher, at least for this. So.
Yeah, he just tuned into the stream.
Yeah, because he saw I was streaming. He's like, "Hey, I'm gonna watch
This
and
is
see
when
what it is."
this is when y'all bronies are like, join us, join us, join
Sorry, I
us.
asked. Technically, to a non-brony, I'm sure cupcakes would probably be pretty terrifying. Just because you'd be
Gross.
like... Because all you'd have to do is put an addendum, oh, some people actually think this is sexually attractive, and then every
Oh,
non-brony would just be
ew.
climbing the walls
almighty.
to get out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's another disgusting thing. When people try to claw their way out of something and they like dig down to their finger bones.
The most disgusting thing we know about is a Boy Scout who drowned in a septic tank.
That's the worst way to die. I will say
That is
that.
a shit-ass way to die.
Shitty, literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
No,
it was an industrial septic tank.
We did not actually know the kid, but we went to the same summer camp, and they told us the different ways kids had died. People had died there. There was a camp counselor who had a heart attack in the middle of the night. Can you imagine that, waking up and your camp counselor's head
Stiff as a
dead?
board.
But one of the kids...
Generally, camp counselors are stiff as a board when they're... Yeah, you know.
but
God.
this kid, when they were draining the septic tanks, he wasn't looking where he was walking, and he fell down into one. So not only did he break both of his legs, he's in a hot and just awful-smelling place.
He drowned in shit.
He drowned in his septic tank. That is awful. I can't think of a worse way to die, because it's insulting, it's stupid, and you could have prevented it by looking where you were going.
Think about the call to that kid's parents. Seriously. You know what the problem is? As we continue to mention where we are, people are going to continue to circle the drain and figure out exactly who we are.
Actually, no, because that camp was far away from where we are now.
Wow. Yeah, I would say so, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's a shit-ass way to die.
It's just awful. It's just awful. It's just all the ways to die. It has no dignity to it. How did you die? Drowned? How did you drown? In a septic tank.
And it's dumb.
That's what I mean. It's completely dumb. If you just watched where he was
This isn't
going,
the Goonies. It's not buried treasure down there. It's literally shit and fat and just
congealed colonies of
and
bacteria.
let's face it, knowing a Boy Scout camp, probably some semen.
You had to go there. You had to go
That's
there.
disgusting. Hey, anybody who actually has read Fallout Equestria, there's some fucked up shit in that story.
Yeah,
So,
there is.
I mean, in fairness.
We'll find out. Although, as much as I hate the thing, I did shoot a reference of cupcakes in FOE. Wasn't that was that the doctor, or was that later on? I can't remember if that was the doctor with the. I can't think right now. Manticores.
I've put too much bourbon in Chris's system.
That's true. You're a terrible influence. Manticores.
Manticores, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that would be it.
Manticores are a fascinating creature, and then you told me when you came across them, you're like, oh yeah, those are in MLP.
Oh yeah, half lion, half bat, half scorpion. So yeah.
Sorry, if the phone buzzes, that's because I'm.
Yes,
still getting
that was 3 halves.
notifications.
You did count right.
Well, it's like that old Monty Python joke, half man, half badger. No, half man, half woman, 3/4 badger.
Yeah. I'm using the same math that the loan experts did in 2008 for housing.
Jesus Christ! If you could fog a mirror, you could get a house.
It's fun. It's always
For
fun.
those of you who don't live in the United States, a home is something you can purchase with money that is lent to you from a bank.
Soviet Union toppled a long time ago.
Well, there's a lot of countries where you can't realistically own a home.
True. But I'm sure they understand that in other countries you can.
I mean, we're poor, and I own a home.
And I'm about to own a home, so
That's right. So,
yeah, it's possible. All things are possible
if you believe
through God. There can be miracles if you believe.
Don't you fucking start. If you worship at the hoofs of Celestia.
Exactly.
That is an interesting question. We bring it up on the show a lot, like, your gods live amongst you. Like, don't worry.
It's the coolest.
Don't worry, Celestia. When I die, I'll be with you. What do you mean you'll be with me? This is the max level of being with me there is.
Thank you, Bender.
I just love it. It's great. Even just like with Red Eyes, at first we think he thinks he will ascend and join the goddesses,
And now you're like, oh shit, he's actually trying to ascend and join the God.
he's actually trying to be a goddess. It'd be really funny though if his gaining power was him actually also trying to be.
No, it would be okay. What's this? Wait, are you guys atheists? No.
Actually, full disclosure, no, we're not.
No. Like I said before, let's see. The scene with RD, Rainbow Dash, and Pinky planting Zakora while Pinky was still play acting. She gives Little Pip's host a look that made me think she might carve me and bake me into a cupcake. I did forget that completely. I apologize.
That's a great line. I do remember that scene.
Yeah. Where were we? Pouring me some more whiskey.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Look, we're here. We might as well enjoy ourselves. I'm not going anywhere. Public intoxication is a crime, kids.
Yeah. No reason to drive. Anyways,
Budmo, which is, I think, a Ukrainian cheer, which is short for to live forever. If not atheists, what?
Do you really want to know?
I believe in the one and true sun goddess, Celestia. No, I'm a Christian.
Yeah,
I'm boring.
We come from a Christian background. It's not boring.
Nah,
It's predictable being Caucasian and in North America, but
yeah,
Episcopalian.
yeah,
Christian and generally Episcopalian.
yeah. Which are fun. Anglican if you're in Britain, not Anglican if you're in the U.S. because they said, "Ew, you guys chose a gay Baptist? No,
No. The Episcopalian Church formed because we were like, oh wait, the head of your church is the king. Yeah, no, that shit ain't gonna fly.
No, I'm talking about the Anglican Church in the US.
Anglicans in the United States. Yeah, they don't like gay people.
Yeah,
So-
that happened because the Episcopalians elected a homosexual.
I was gonna say they don't need a.
Why not believe in Islam? Because
I respect women.
oh God, we've just and we
Why
just down the rabbit hole.
hide your light under a bushel? That's all I'm saying. I trust my wife.
Just
So.
I'm out. I'm out.
So
Let's go back. What are you thankful for? Oh, let's not. This is exactly why we did not want to talk about religion on the thing. It'd be.
well, they asked.
Yes, they did. It's your fault.
I'm a pretty honest guy.
Um,
I don't think I've ever
However,
had.
to be fair,
I don't think I've ever had a question that I haven't answered.
I am thankful for awkward Thanksgiving convos like this. Thank
Me
you.
too.
Thank you.
Me
To
too.
be fair though, I have gone to I don't know what they're called, but a sermon at a mosque. I had a roommate who was from Jordan. And
I dated a girl named Jordan.
That was completely...
Golf clap. Thanks, Kit Kat. Yeah, we're so brave. So brave.
I feel like it's more of that.
You're a hero.
I feel like that was more in relation to what happened.
No, that'd be a slow clap.
Yeah. So no, I'm not. I'm not completely alien to that, but no, I mean,
to what?
Islam. But
oh,
no, I just go with Christianity. It's a little bit easier. Well, no, it's completely like Christianity is the easiest religion. Believe in Jesus, go to heaven. Done. There's nothing else. Like literally, a lot of people attach a whole bunch of shit to it, but there's nothing else. It's literally
having done
nothing.
some study on this, I'm pretty sure Buddhism is the easiest religion.
Just don't believe in anything?
No, that would be... No, it's not a believing in anything. It's like, this mortal coil, you'll shuck it off.
Eventually.
I mean, unless you're Theravada Buddhism. If you're Theravada Buddhism, y'all some crazy, nobody except for the Siddhartha Gautama escaped the cycle. The rest of us are just stuck here. I mean, that's Theravada. Now, Mahayana is everyone becomes a bodhisattva. Everyone becomes a bodhisattva, which means once you become a bodhisattva, you leave.
Mm-hmm.
You're done. This didn't need to become religion talk.
To be honest, I am somewhat
surprised.
You guys are Christian. Huh. Okay.
I mean, I don't have one of those golden teas hanging around my throat, if that makes you feel any better.
Golden teas.
Yeah, by the way, how fucked up is it with Christianity that the symbol for Christianity is literally the torture device?
Well, because the focus is supposed to be the idea that your salvation is through the death of Christ, and therefore
Catholics are fucked up too because they put the dead body on their tea.
Yeah, it's a little bit weird. However, Orthodox puts a little foot stand on the bottom, so he can stand there while he's...
Actually, while y'all have asked, the original symbol for Christianity was the fish. And it was a secret sign, like a handshake, to tell someone you were a follower of.
When they met in the catacombs under Rome.
You would draw it in the sand.
And then they became the supermajority, tore down the Roman statues, and carved crosses into their face.
Like Charles Manson with a swastika in his forehead.
Human tribalism just never works out in anyone's favor. That's just that's the takeaway.
Like tattoo culture.
Yeah.
Exactly like tattoo culture.
Tribal tattoos are sucky. Don't get them. You look like a douche. Progress. In what regard? I don't know.
Yeah, there's a delay between what we're saying and when people post. So
yeah, so you can't get it like right in time when we say it. So if you're going for like a specific moment,
I'll tell you what. If us telling them that we're Christians ruins the show, man, that sucks.
It really does.
Yeah,
I feel bad.
I don't feel like our religious background influences the show.
Well, then again, the person who asked it is not a fan of our... Well, I shouldn't say he's not a fan of our show, but isn't a subscriber, isn't regularly into
Chris,
it.
Chris, we don't have fans. We have friends.
Oh, was in reference to the evolution of Christianity. Progress. Yes, they're a lot better now than they used to be. Well, it's kind of... Let's be honest. It's been a roller coaster ride. What with the... not the tithes. What are they called? What caused Martin Luther to nail the theses? The thesis.
Are you talking about the indulgences?
Yes, the indulgences. That's it. So yes, that was definitely a very low point.
I mean, Christian Orthodoxy, i.e. Roman Catholicism, not i.e. e.g. Roman Catholicism, is still very much a pay-to-play.
Yeah.
That's been the biggest problem I've had with Orthodoxy.
Yeah. I don't actually, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know much about the Eastern Orthodoxy.
They're like Episcopalians.
Yeah.
I mean, they really are in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
They don't
smells and bells. That's what you take away with it. Smells and bells.
Yeah, smells and bells. Really
they're really big on traditionalistic values in certain regards.
And the Greeks, which were part of the Eastern Orthodox, they baptize you in olive oil, not water.
No, I am merely surprised. I thought you guys would not be religious. It seems to be a common occurrence on the internet, to be fair. I will agree with you there.
There seems to be a big disconnect between people who think that if you're an intellectual or a scientist, you can't be inherently religious.
I believe on our Lord and Savior, the Great Flying Spaghetti Monster.
A Pastafarian! I love Pastafarians!
Blessed be his tentacles.
And he reached out to me with his noodly appendage and did bless my sauce that day.
I don't have a beef with most religions. There's a few out there that are like...
Here's my feeling.
Really?
If what you do that brings you peace at the end of the day
is best.
Does not hurt someone else.
Yeah.
That's the key.
You are free to believe whatever you want. I don't.
Right. So it's like, I don't care what your background is, as long as what you're doing brings you comfort at the end of the day.
Yeah, I know somebody who, well, I don't know them personally, but I know somebody who unironically believes in Norse mythology.
I know someone like that too.
And I'm like, you really believe that Loki transformed himself into a woman,
Had sex with Odin.
Had sex with Odin and gave birth to a 6-legged horse? Although I expect many Christians might disagree. Maybe it depends on which ones you talk to.
You know, it's interesting. Obviously, since we are Episcopalian, fairly what you would consider progressive Christians.
Yeah.
But I would say, if we're going to talk about Christianity, a lot of Christians don't understand that the core tenet of Christianity is that you love one another. So, if we're going to talk about that, like I said, Christ said there were two things: love God, love one another. That's it. That's it.
I didn't want to turn that. Obviously, no. We never approached this with the idea
It's too late
of turning it
for that
into a Christian philosophy. If you actually, there's two different types of Christian philosophy. You missed my statement above. I have no trouble admitting that I have a Christian faith, although I suspect many Christians might disagree. Oh, trouble. Okay. Trouble admitting.
Anyways, there's a lot of Christians who think that it's your job to cast judgment. That's not what it is.
That seems rather blasphemous. But then again, it depends on which sect you belong to. Realistically, there's only one path. I mean, in the Christian faith, there's only one path to heaven, and that's literally believe that Christ died for your sins. Done. That's it. It's the easiest.
That's the core of it. Yeah.
There's a lot of things on how to be a better individual. There's a lot of it that's about stoicism. Even the 7 deadly sins are about how to hold yourself to a higher position, how to just be a better individual. Don't give in to gluttony. Don't give in to greed. Don't give in to wrath.
And it's something we all do. Anyways, we can move on to a million different things.
Yeah.
It's super easy for me to talk about. My dad was a minister.
Done a lot of religious reading myself.
Yeah, I did. I studied a lot in college, religion, a lot of different religions, not just the Abrahamic traditions, but also the Eastern traditions.
Yeah.
So,
Shintoism, really interesting stuff. Hinduism, really complicated stuff.
Shintoism is interesting, especially considering that it came after the animism that existed in Japan to begin with. It's kind of an extension of animism.
Yeah, the idea that anything can be a temple for a spirit.
Anyone who's watched Spirited Away, that's a perfect example of Shintoism.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great movie, by the way.
Mononoke.
Yeah, there's elements of Shintoism, and Miyazaki touches on a lot of traditional Japanese religion, which is Shinto. Yeah. Although the number one practiced religion in Japan is not Shinto, but Buddhism. Mm-hmm. And not even specifically Zen Buddhism, which is kind of a transcendental meditation version of Buddhism. But y'all didn't tune into this live stream to talk about religion.
Yes, Ritmo says, I feel like we've gone a little farther. What's y'all's favorite drink?
So, are we talking about adult drinks, beverages in general, soda, pop?
Sadly, I can no longer have my favorite drink.
Tonic.
It's weird as hell. I know
Adult.
It's weird.
So, I would say, a lot of bourbon. I love gin and scotch too, but whiskeys in general.
Yeah, I used to love gin. I mean, sorry, tonic. I used to love tonic.
Sorry.
I can't have tonic anymore. And if you have heart problems, do not drink tonic water.
Quinine can cause arrhythmia.
Yes.
Tachycardia.
Yeah,
tachycardia.
And so I actually had ventricular tachycardia, which is lethal. Due to the fact that I was poisoning myself with tonic water, and I had no idea. Nobody ever told me.
Again, it was small doses, but you seem to be sensitive to it.
Oh,
everyone's a little bit. You were also drinking a lot of.
Nobody should actively participate in something, regardless of how small. It's like, I'm only going to have a little bit of lead paint today.
But in regards, so my 2 favorite cocktails, I love an old fashioned, which is a bourbon drink with bitters, soda water, and just a little bit, like 1 sugar cube. Mm-hmm. It's not a very sweet drink, but it helps bring out the aromatic bitters. And then also a gin martini. I love a good gin martini with olives and just a little bit of vermouth.
The thing I love about bourbon is the smoky flavor. If you could fold a regular piece of paper in half and then fold the already folded paper in half 99 times only,
it's impossible.
Actually, it's impossible. Generally, the consists of 7 folds?
6.
6 folds.
I think it's 6.
You can't get any farther. 99
You
folds
need a
would be...
different. You need a different shaped piece of paper.
It would be the thickness to the power of 99. Duh. I mean, that's simple math. Sorry.
But if you were able to accomplish that, by all means, go for it.
Do it. The entire math world would just be in awe of your glory.
There you go.
So,
There's a tick.
Consume.
Tourette's, the drinking game.
In theory, the width of the paper. I don't know. Arsenic used to be taken as a recreational snack in small doses. Well, arsenic was also added to drinks during the Prohibition to increase the sense that you were getting some sort of alcoholic kick from it. The same is actually true of quinine.
And antifreeze.
And antifreeze.
Antifreeze makes things taste sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you make something so deadly sweet?
They don't make it.
I know they don't make it sweet.
Interesting story. Gin and tonics actually came from the British occupation of India, in which the British...
and it warms you up.
The British would have to drink tonic water quinine to combat the malaria that was present in India.
Which is funny because quinine in your water, the levels of quinine you have to put in the water to stave off malaria is way more than what we have in tonic water now.
Well, yeah, because quinine has a lot of bad side effects. But good at staving off malaria. I can prove it. I don't have malaria. Therefore, it was a success.
You know what else staves off malaria? Not going to India.
True, and Africa. But yeah, so they would mix it with gin to kind of take the bite off. So that's where gin and tonics come from.
Yeah.
It's a neat trick there.
I do love a gin and tonic. I should say that.
Oh yeah, gin and tonic is great. I can't have them anymore.
Anyways, we were asked about adult beverages. What are some of y'all's favorites?
Could one physically walk from Africa to Europe?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, there's across the, what's that peninsula? Sinai Peninsula?
No, not... I mean, so the difficulty would be with the Black Sea. You'd have to... I mean, there's bridges.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and obviously there's bridges, so there's no point. The tonic water of the time had a lot more quinine than ours. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah. It very clearly had much higher levels because they lowered it because the medical problems.
Now
you could not have it.
Now the quinine hardly has. I mean, there's hardly any quinine in tonic.
That's
water.
That's why all the people were weirded out by the fact that I had a reaction. But I actually tested it.
In fact, tonic water is one of the few things in the United States. In fact, I think it's the only thing in the United States with quinine in it that you can buy over the counter.
Yep.
Because, for instance, a beverage like Iron Brew, which is a Scottish drink that tastes like bubblegum, is full of quinine, and you cannot buy it here in the States.
Yep. It probably has more quinine than tonic water does, to be fair.
It's like an energy drink, but it has a ton of quinine.
My personal favorite, Iron Brew. Do turkeys have knees? Yes, they do. They just go the opposite direction.
Jameson's is a fine Irish whiskey.
Try putting tonic under a blacklight sometime. I'll do that.
That would make sense, yeah. Because quinine, it's got to have some level of radiation, I would think.
True.
Right?
True.
Being a salt.
Mm-hmm.
What was the other thing? Oh, Jameson's. Jameson's is great Irish whiskey. The one thing I will say is I do not like aged Jameson's. What was it? 13 or 19-year-old Jameson's?
Yeah, I actually got like the highest age Jameson's, and the thing tasted like acid.
It wasn't great.
It didn't have any good flavor. It was just dry. It was just awful flavor, awful tasting.
And we're big whiskey people in
general.
Oh
yeah.
We should say, being in the American South, I mean, this is the home.
Yeah, I mean, we have good Tennessee whiskey, we have Kentucky whiskey,
and the home of moonshine, baby.
Mm-hmm.
My family were shine runners, so
yeah,
long history of that.
Yeah,
White Lightning.
What would you do if you woke up tomorrow and you looked just like a symbol from written Chinese, but with a mouth and tiny hands? Scream.
I guess I'd go work for Sesame Street.
That would be a fantastic idea.
Yeah, why not?
Mm-hmm.
I'd be a Muppet.
Depending on what
today's episode is brought to us by the letter,
I have no idea what Mandarin characters are, so I'm not even going to try. Diversity. What?
Well, what?
I'm confused.
Sesame Street's great for diversity.
Mm-hmm. For instance, figuring out what to do with your house when a hurricane comes through. A friend of mine let me try a bit of his 40-year Scotch once. Ooh, that had to be either great or bad. The problem with aging a lot of liquors is they will either be amazing or they'll be terrible.
It is interesting that you should say that because bourbon after about 25 years,
Mhm.
there's no such thing as a bourbon that's good after 20,
Yeah.
20 or 25 years.
Um,
But there are scotches that do improve over time. It just depends on what the composition of it is.
Yeah.
Scotch has more malt in it,
Mhm.
whereas bourbon is.
Diversity on Sesame Street. Get the Chinese characters, make it more diverse. I feel like one Mandarin character isn't going to make a difference. It's just going to confuse a lot of people. I think
Unless it
Mandarin
is-
confuses a lot of people.
Unless it's the Mandarin from the Marvel universe.
Or a Mandarin off of a tree. I don't know what I'm adding to this conversation by saying that, but there we go. It was amazing. I'm sure that was... Look, that's the thing is, with age, with a lot of these things, with age, you either get a lot better and a lot worse. Here's an interesting story, by the way. When I was moving out of my house when I was younger, we found
Sorry,
a
I'm
box.
not tired. This is just really boring.
We found a box of various bottled wines and stuff right next to the washing machine, the dishwasher. So this thing was exposed to humidity and heat, temperature variance all over the board, which, if you know anything about wines, is the most terrifying thing ever. Of all the things that were in there, we actually found one bottle of champagne that was 7 years old, and it was fantastic. And we have no idea why, because champagne doesn't last at all anyway, but somehow it worked.
But there was another bottle of wine in there that was like acrid and full of sediment and disgusting.
It was a port. It was port. You could literally turn the bottle upside down and see the particles drift down. It's like, ooh. So everything else was destroyed, but the champagne was fantastic. I don't know.
And which is odd too, because port is, it's not great wine, but it is fortified. It has a higher alcohol content. Theoretically, it shouldn't spoil
as easily. I mean, everything turns to vinegar eventually.
I guess what it depends on is if you're buying grocery store port, which is not very fortified.
It was very nice port.
Okay, well,
nice, it was from that place.
I was gonna say nice port is fortified with brandy.
Yeah, it was from the place. So. What's the stupidest thing that you've ever heard people argue about?
Shit.
Well, there was that one YouTube video where the people argued about whether or not you roll toilet paper over your hand, or whether you fold it, or whether you just clump it into a ball.
Fold or ball. Yeah, that's pretty stupid.
That's the dumbest thing.
I get into arguments occasionally about how to hang the toilet paper, but at the end of the day, it's not a lot of energy because it's not that important.
It's over.
Yeah. I mean,
it's always over. Why would you ever do? No, that makes no sense.
Yeah, my feelings are, why would you want it to hang against the wall? But everybody's.
Why would you want to reach around the back side to have to get more? It's just like, oh, it's here, pull, done. I just don't get why anyone would defend the other position.
Dumb arguments. I've literally seen a couple argue about the fact that they argue in front of people.
Did they argue in front of people?
Yes. They were arguing in front of...
That's the sign of a relationship that is going south faster than any airplane ever could.
It's funny. Everybody says, oh, well, everybody fights.
What was your craziest dream? Oh, God.
A lot of sexual ones. No, I've had some my whole... I don't know what it is with my brain, but I've had a lot of fucked up dreams. So I've had some really... I've had some surrealist, like Salvador Dali type painting dreams.
Of the dreams I remember, the weirdest ones are the ones that continue the next time.
Oh, recurring.
Well, not recurring. It's like episodic, to where the next one builds on the last one, kind of thing. To where they like
kind of like where you wake up and you fall back into the dream.
No, like the next night I have a continuation of the same dream.
I have a couple.
That was the weirdest one.
I have a couple of tropes that show up regularly in my dreams. The one that I haven't had in a while, but it was upsetting, was someone in a hoodie. Kind of a gray man in a hoodie that would show up and like start trying to murder my family or friends.
Okay, here's the difference between the Freudian and the Jungian between you. Does it mean anything?
I don't know, but it's a common character who'd show up, and whenever they'd show up, I'd feel like I'd suddenly start moving through molasses because I'd try and obviously stop them.
It's turning Freudian. I can feel it inside of all of you.
At least
it means something.
At least they're not a penis. Oh, I'm sure there's some meaning to it, but their face always just barely seems to be.
Here's an interesting thing about dreams. Dreams are actually a collection of the individual thoughts that your brain has all at the same time that are collected into a single moment. So what it does is it tries to piece together the different thoughts that you have into a cognitive stream of thought.
It's your brain downloading data from the day.
Yeah, so whatever you're thinking about is going to be in your dreams. That's the reason that people say dreams have meaning. Well, the thing is, it doesn't always have the meaning that you think it does. If you've been watching a lot of movies about Jason Bourne and you have a dream where you're an action hero, no shit. It doesn't mean anything. It just means you've been watching a lot of fucking Jason Bourne movies.
How many My Little Pony dreams have you had?
None.
Really?
I don't have...
How many My Little Pony dreams have y'all had? I gotta know. Come on. Don't let me hanging.
Kit Kat must have had a Fallout dream. That's great. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, I mean, that's how it works. It's a collection of ideas and thoughts that just kind of come and go. And when you wake up, your brain puts them in order.
Maybe. Yeah.
No promises, I say.
Yeah. Deal with a memory orb. It was like I was Rarity.
Oh.
And everyone wanted to fuck me.
Oh. Let me actually figure this out. Continue on.
I've had a Fallout dream.
What was it?
I don't remember, but I remember I had one. I remember VATS in my dream was weird. Because, like, I dreamed I was on an airplane and the pilot was... Oh,
no, I just continue. I'm doing something.
I couldn't, but I lost the text.
Oh, no!
That's all
hold
right.
on.
I'll pull up your question here in a second. When Chris is done doing his thing.
Yeah, I know. No OP, but at least one Fallout Equestria. Yeah. I dreamed also I was on an airplane, and the pilot was only taking in numbers, and I then tried to take us up to outer space.
Huh.
I mean,
I think that means you're a sociopath.
That's
I don't know a lot about dreams, but I'm pretty sure that you jerk off in front of small children.
The funniest part about Freudian psychology is that Freud kept saying that what you see in the world is an aspect of yourself. It's always an aspect of yourself, except obviously what he saw was himself, which is meta as shit. But that's the only real good takeaway.
Somewhere that man is deep throating a cigar and spitting in his grave,
and thinking about his mother in a sexual way.
Have you ever heard a recording of his voice?
No.
You should, because it's really weird.
No, I take it back. I think I have.
It's quiet. It's high pitched, and he kind of talks like this.
Yeah, no, I take it back.
Whoa,
I think you were the one who showed it to me. No,
yeah.
I actually remember that now that you describe it.
Early recordings of Freud's voice that are.
There's also recordings of the last eunuch's voice, which is. Everybody says, "Oh, it's because it's coming from a man, and you expect it from a woman, and that's why it's weird." It's like, no, it's fucking weird.
Oh.
It's really crackly, but a high pitch. And I think it's because he was very old, but because his voice hadn't matured like any other normal human beings.
Was he a eunuch or castrati?
Oh, sorry, castrati.
I was going to say, eunuch is Roman times, but yeah, modern castrati.
Well, castratis ended in a while back because they are considered inhumane, as cutting off the balls of any animal is kind of... Well, except for dogs and cats. Get your pets spayed
and monitor lizards. Yeah, thank you, Bob Barker.
The really long microphone. I feel like we're dropping references that a lot of people aren't going to know.
The long microphone is his penis.
Mm.
It's compensatory.
That's why it's really thin. Long and thin. Seems like a very ineffective penis.
My penis kind of looks like an angry Muppet. Long and hairy on the end. It's kind of like a dealy bopper.
That is an upsetting. that is truly an upsetting thing. I'm going to be completely honest with you here. Okay. On the long past topic, when I played F4, I approached trying to play an RP character, taking in character notes, which I wrote up as a character diary.
I hate to do this because I want to keep the live stream going, and we will, but I have got to go pee.
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry. So
hold on, let me ask you that question. It made me the experience much more full than the game itself. I posted the diary blog. Yes, I was going to ask whether that was the Angel Bunny, or was that the Angel Bunny blog that you had done?
Be right back, y'all.
Because I remembered reading the first part of that, but I just never kept up with it. I apologize. You booped me midstream. Okay, I don't know what that's about, but okay. Regardless, yes, I did read a bit of that. So he's gone, he'll be back. Anyway, sorry, I'm trying to inform certain people that I know that the stream is happening, and so, regardless, I feel like I have nothing to play off of because there's nothing here. Ooh, now that he's gone, we can talk behind his back. I mean, you can, but there's not much to say, really. unless you have any questions about it. If you were gifted with the power of invisibility for one day, would you use it? And if so, how? Yes, obviously. There was an episode, I think, of the remake of The Twilight Zone from the 90s that touched on this, where a guy attempted to cross the street because he had the power of invisibility. And as he was crossing the street, a car ran over him because he had no idea that the guy was there because he just didn't pay attention to his surroundings. It seems more of a cop-out than the one with the time-altering watch. But yeah, I would use it. I would use it for evil. I guarantee it. Sorry, I'm a human. If you give me the ability to do something absolutely awful, I will. And I hate saying that, but it's the truth. Because how are you going to use invisibility for good? Because you need some kind of omniscience to know what you're going to do is good, first off. And then you're going to need to know how to put it in. Are you going to continue the talk show for more fics, say Pink Eyes Murky and the Small Indie Book Project Horizons? I don't know. Now, I have a written version. I have the printed version of Project Horizons. Also, hello, Tosca. I know who you are.
So, do we have time for a big announcement? Do we have time for me to share something important?
Yes, you can, because I've been waiting for you to actually share it.
I'm going to be a daddy.
Yes, he is. He actually learned he's going to be a daddy not but a week ago.
What? No. I knew a long time ago.
Oh, that's right. How long ago was it?
We just started sharing with family and friends a little over a week ago.
Okay, yeah, then I didn't doubt. But I knew a week ago.
Yeah, I know you didn't know.
And I know that you've been burning up to tell people a week ago.
I knew for a long time. But yeah, my wife and I were going to have our first baby.
For anyone who's actually had children, that's had great things. Says yay for you.
And for those of you who haven't had children, I'll let you know how crazy it is.
Yeah, it's...
But people always ask how many we're going to have, and I always respond, a baker's dozen.
Yeah.
It's funny. People are so weird about kids, and they're like, oh, the world's a shit place. I don't want to bring kids into this. And my feelings are, raise good citizens. Bring more good people in the world. That's how, if you think the world's a shitty place, bring good people into it.
It reminds me of a guy who talks about it, and he says, look, if you want to make the world a better place, don't go out and do crazy things.
Don't be selfish.
Clean your room. Clean your room, fix your relationship with the people around you. If everyone does that, the world will be a better place. So there you go. Just try to be better, be a better person, help other people be better, and there you go. Somebody asked us. I will go back a little bit.
Was there a question?
Yeah. Yes. If we were gifted with the power of invisibility for one day, would you use it? And if so, how?
God, my response when I was a single man would be very different. I mean, it's.
I just said evil, but sure. I mean,
be invisible for one day. What would you do? I mean, what's within walking distance that's any good?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, everybody would probably... I would use it for shoplifting, probably.
People just see shit floating out of them.
Hey, they never said...
Actually, what you'd do is you'd shove it in the regular place. The usual... Woo! What I'm saying is you'd keister something.
Oh my.
You'd put it in your anus.
You'd shove it up your rectum.
Yes, you would use some Astroglide and...
Yeah, invisibility is one of those powers I would never want because it's too easy for it to have horrid consequences. Yeah, it does.
You know what's really funny about it? Yeah, being run over and nobody knows that you're hurt. But you know what's really funny too is the one response everybody says is, "I want to fly," and it's like, yeah, no shit, everyone wants to fly.
Until you get up there and you're like, "Where the hell am I?"
It's cold, and I'm flying at 10 miles an hour.
Also, I can't breathe, so now I've passed out. I'm falling to the earth, and I won't wake up before I hit. Super strength. Now there's a good power. I don't want to fly either. Okay, Kat, what would you like to do?
So, I'll tell you what.
Why not carve out for the day?
Again, like I said, if I was a single man...
Crashing is bad.
Can I share with y'all what the one superpower I would want is? Because
I'm assuming they're watching. Go ahead.
I would think about this for a long time. So my superpower, and it's kind of actually a supervillain power, is that...
Think of all the copious amounts of drugs you could steal.
That only helps indestructibility. That's funny. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, Unbreakable. Have any of you seen the film Unbreakable with Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson? It's a good one. If not,
if you haven't seen it, then you're very rare on. I mean, you obviously. What are you doing? I haven't seen it, but I mean, I'm just giving you
the one superpower I would have is that I could point at anyone at any distance and go, bang, and their head would explode.
That is a very good supervillain power.
Right?
Okay, no, let me ask you this. Would it work
and
over...
no one would know. No one would know. You just go, bang, and and I mean, just like not even, but I
Wasn't there a team? Wasn't that like a Team Fortress 2 taunt where you're the heavy and you go, pow, and it actually does damage to somebody? You can kill people that way.
I don't know. I haven't played TF2 in a while.
The question
I was always the pyro, so I was focused on just burning people alive. I don't know. Actually, I feel like I'm revealing some fucked up things about
most taunts in TF2 can. I actually have killed somebody with a taunt. Thank you very much.
In Super Smash Brothers Melee, only Luigi's taunt could deal damage.
And if you ever got an insta kill as Luigi with that taunt, then you were god tier because there's just no other explanation. You have to be really good to get away with that.
It's like when you find someone w's really good with Jigglypuff's rest.
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck.
Insta KO, insta KO. Kind of dating ourselves with the Melee references. God, who plays that faggotry anymore?
Somebody actually made a mod where they combined the best of Falco and the best of Fox into what they called Super Spacey. They referred to them as Spaceys. Mm-hmm. Oh, Jesus Christ. I mean, it's just like, it's literally a god character. They're already overpowered, and then they just...
Yeah. Any character...
It's something as quick as Fox that deals as much damage as Falco, and it's just...
Anyone who can cancel out of their animations...
All I have to say is, that's not Falco. Wombo combo. Wombo combo.
Wombo combo. That ain't Falco. Okay, enough about that. Dear Foops Master.
Foops Master, that's a cool name. I like that.
Actually, if I could choose any power at a time near stop ability would be my choice. Twilight Zone. There you go. That was an episode about that. If just to be never late for work.
Bayonetta for the win.
The question becomes, if you stop time and you continue to move, wouldn't you technically start causing massive destruction from the fact that you're moving through particles at infinite speed? And moving through air would just create the most violent, disturbing, sound booms that had ever existed. Mm. You'd walk through by a building, and when you reactivate it, it would cause it would blow through all the windows. So, Foops Master, what are you thankful for? Do you age while time is paused? That's a good question, but that's up to the individual, I suppose.
Right, because light wouldn't be moving.
That's near stop.
That's a very good observation, Kit Kat.
What if the time-stopping mechanic was a watch and you dropped it? I already made the reference to the time.
And what if Adam Sandler showed up and had a remote control?
Oh, you just ruined it. You just took everything that was good about it and you just broke it into several pieces.
No, Adam Sandler ruined it.
Adam Sandler is a constant force in the universe. I am convinced of this. He must exist in some form.
Are you saying that Adam Sandler is the Higgs boson?
Not really. I feel like there is always going to be an Adam Sandler. It might as well be him or it's somebody else.
You know what? I'd be upset if he didn't seem like such a nice guy.
He actually makes some good movies sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes. He actually has made a few good movies.
Yeah. The 50 First Dates is one of my favorites. I think that's pretty cute.
The Wedding Singer. Wedding Singer's
that's
good.
That's pretty good. Yeah. Another Drew Barrymore with Adam Sandler.
Yes, and what was that movie where he was Dracula?
Oh, Hotel Transylvania.
Hotel Transylvania was surprisingly good.
Happy Gilmore, that's another popular one. I actually really like Mr. Deeds. It's pretty dumb, but I like that one.
I mean, there's a few that you can get away with that are actually really nice.
Any of the stories where he's actually a nice guy, surrounded by assholes.
Do you guys like Star Trek? Not so much.
If I'm honest, we've seen a lot of the shows and a lot of the movies and such, but not a huge Trekkie.
I've actually seen the first Star Trek movie I ever saw was the first Star Trek movie.
I know the universe pretty well.
I played a tabletop RPG, Mage the Ascension, where my character had that ability. It was amazing. Explored the possibilities, would do so in real life. Going through...
It's good to know you tabletop. Speed. Chris and I both tabletop, but we've talked about D&D for ages now.
Yeah, I wish I could play D&D more.
You've played My Little Pony tabletop too.
Yes, I have played My Little Pony tabletop.
Which I love that ML... Oh wait, I don't want to start that debate again about MLP in the D&D universe.
Oh yeah, but yeah, no, I wish I could actually play more traditional D&D. It seems really interesting. I just
it's a huge time suck.
Well, the only people I play with are once every second month.
Any other tabletop games? So board games, we've played Talisman a bunch of times. That's a good kind of D&D-ish tabletop game. But as for other RP games, not a ton. I've pretty much been D&D my entire life. I know some guys who are really into Shadow play. Some of the guys who play
Shadowrun.
Shadowrun. Yeah,
Shadowplay is
the
NVIDIA
yeah,
thing.
NVIDIA, sorry.
Yeah. Next
What was the
question.
other
What
question?
kinds of music do you like? I like.
You're all over the board.
I am mostly, but I do want the discography of VNV Nation and Lamb of God, which are completely different things. But I love the discography of both, and I will listen to any of the songs at any time. I don't care.
As per Foops, I will say you may have already played it, but of all the D&D versions I've played, I think fifth edition is the most balanced. It's the most fun. I've played first, I've played 3, 3.5, and
Technically,
5.
you played first. What is it called? 1A Advanced first.
I've played first and advanced D&D.
Yeah, AD&D. That one's a hard one to get into because the rules are all over the place. Level 2 in 5e, you can have a character with 19 AC. Sad face. Yeah, I mean it's not perfect, but it still works. And I did as a DM.
Yeah, there's definitely characters in 5th edition that are broken, like the flying fuckers that level 1. You know, the bird people.
Yeah, you can't do that.
But I've played as a dragonborn, and that is, man. So I have a character right now that I love. His name is Yeshua Goldeneye, and he is a dragonborn life cleric that's heavily armored and carries a hammer. He is op as shit.
I have it's not going to work out for me yet, but I have a.
You have a bard.
A half-elf bard named Antoine Moonleaf that has a. God, what was my charisma rating? It's something. It's like 19.
It's ridiculous because you rolled an 18 and it's buffed because you're a half elf and a bard, and it's how you cast spells is from your charisma.
I actually have the ability to use the.
The only problem is that he has to play a lute to actually do any spells, and so you're running around the battlefield, you know.
I'm like running around like I've got a like playing the Flight of the Bumblebee while I'm being chased by orcs. It's hilarious.
And the funny thing is that you can drop your instrument.
Yeah,
and you did.
Well, I picked it back up.
No, I know, but it's just funny that you're like zoinks, you know.
Yeah, because no matter how much I tanked in stealth, I rolled a 2 or something.
We have a regular board game group that gets together once a month and plays. Well, it hasn't been as of late, but generally it was once a month. We get together and play a bunch of board games.
I wish I could play more often, but you know. Should adult midgets be considered be allowed on roller coasters?
And
no,
here's an unpopular opinion: they shouldn't be allowed to vote.
That's wrong. That's actually very wrong.
No, it's the truth. They should not be allowed to vote.
Okay. No, the reason for and there are our watcher count went up and then back down.
I'm just saying.
No, because very clearly the sign on the roller coaster is very, very clearly there for safety purposes, not because you're old enough to behave. It's because you're actually tall enough for the safety equipment to work on you.
So I would probably play at this point, because I've inhaled all of these toxic fumes, this taint that has ruined my soul. I would probably play a Fallout Equestria tabletop.
Yeah, I would definitely.
If we could find anybody to run it with us. Now, K-Cat, you want to play a Roll20 of Fallout Equestria? That'd be fun.
Coming from the perspective of...
I use Roll20. It's a great system.
How would you feel about other MLP material?
Hey, Robert? Thomas Young is DTF. Down to full.
Close there. Close to being demonetized. Not the word
DTR down to roll.
How would you say after...
Never mind.
How would you feel about...
LOL, BBQ, WTF, DTF.
Oh my god, all the comments. How would you feel, Robert, about other other MLP material, which we've already touched on before, but just in case?
Fallout Equestria?
No, MLP. Just straight MLP. I.e., would you be interested in joining a Tales of Equestria again?
This makes it sound like a cult.
In the last one, I actually dressed up in another pony's skin that I denuded.
Oh. I guess I'm just gonna keep getting dragged down this.
The FOE game I ran, K-Cat says, the Fallout
for
Equestria
5 years.
Lasted for 5 years. Wow, good on you.
The Fallout tabletop you played was great until you met a Deathclaw.
We managed to have one guy punch the Deathclaw to death.
He was One Punch Man. His rule was I punch things.
No, not me. It was the other guy.
But his rule was I punch things.
I was the actual healer behind him who kept buffing him so that he would.
I just love that. That's his thing. It's like I punch things.
If I knew a DM, that'd be fun. Yeah, if you knew a DM Tuska that actually did that would be fun. It would be very fun if you knew somebody like you who did that. Anyway, how do we deal with division in a community? Depends on what the division is and why. It has to go by
knuckle knife fights. That's how you deal with division.
Well, you can't always do that.
No, cull the weak. You know.
Well, I mean, look, it depends on what the issue is and why the issue is there. Sometimes you can't fix it, and if you can, then work towards fixing it. Really, don't just say, "Look, there's a problem, and it's always going to be divided, and tough shit, go away." That's not a good way to approach anything. You need to say, "Look, there's a division. You both can meet here. You both can get along. Just try not to make an issue out of it when it comes up."
Have you seen Friendship is Witchcraft?
Yes, I have. I didn't think it was as good as a lot of other people. I just didn't attach to it as much. 7 campaigns is just the right number for a DM. Yeah, you need to stop doing that.
Dial that down.
You need to really stop doing that. You need to bring it down to like 3.
I know DMs who can hardly handle 1, so 7.
Yes, but he's not
what
very
are you,
good.
What are you really... No. I'm talking about. I know other people. I play with other people than just our group. Okay, I'm in multiple games right now. Take it easy. Don't pick on our DM.
Do you really need me to contact the other people in our little campaign and tell them to stop letting you do this to yourself? Do you believe in free will? Yes.
Yes.
Stephen Hawking.
I'm not Presbyterian.
Stephen Hawking said that there was the ability for particles to randomly push themselves into reality. That allows for a random integer or a random value to be thrown into any part of our reality. Which means that there is no way to accurately represent what a person's stance is going to be by simulating all of history.
I have a question for you. If the food was made out of barbecue spare ribs, would you eat it?
Yes.
Shoot, I'd have seconds.
But enough quoting Will Ferrell as Harry Carey. So yeah, there's my thought on free will. I think, if you wanted to really get down to the nitty gritty, maybe it's not free will, but it's not perfectly
free will. I'll take one.
Yeah, true.
These are good questions. But I want to reframe this for a minute because it's been a while. We put this live stream together to just say that we are incredibly thankful for you who tune in and hop on the message boards and join in and share what you have to say, and for all the support that you provide. And we wanted to not only say how grateful we are, but we wanted to provide an opportunity for you to share what you're thankful for. Here in the States, this is a time of thanks.
What does randomness have to do with free will? Well, it can change how, if let's say your perception of what this one action is based on if this one dictator lived. Well, he died in the womb due to a free radical bumping into him and causing cancer in the womb. Oh well, so now you no longer think that thing. Done.
I think the overall theme of Fallout Equestria is resilience in the face of adversity. And following your virtue even in the face of corrupted virtue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's definitely good.
At great personal sacrifice.
Great personal sacrifice. Mm-hmm.
So that's what I think.
Yeah. I listen to the show off and on, so apologies. You never told me you listened to the show off and on. You never tuned in. How dare you? I know him.
Oh, you know him?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
How dare you? You told me you never listened to it.
Don't mind me.
Either you're lying now or you lied then.
Don't mind me just getting foopy. I do love that name.
Well, which is it too? Is it too that you've seen it or you completely and totally...
Foops Master, wah, wah, wah.
I wish I had a question for all of you, but I can't think of anything right now. A little bit too much bourbon in my system.
You don't have a question. We don't do the questions thing, So if people ask us questions. I mean, I ask questions, but
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, we already know that Melody's Ritmo has no idea what our show is, really. I mean, we've explained it so far, but didn't come in knowing much about the show. He's just hung on. You're a trooper for doing so. A lot of people would have learned what it's about and go, ugh, faggots. Turn off.
Gay. I mean,
So, yeah.
some people probably think it is gay. How many people
yeah.
have tried to ship us? I mean, it's not good.
Oh, God, who was
The
that?
fan art's the worst. That's the worst.
I don't think we have fan art. Please don't.
Crudely drawn crayon fan art.
Woo,
shipping
deviant
us.
art level. Is there anything that you dislike thus far in FOEs? Oftentimes I get the severest criticism for the things I love the most.
It's got to be hard for your relationships.
Oh. Oh.
You know, I love you, but I hate
Don't
I
laugh.
hate everything that you do.
How do I tell my friend that he is ugly and that is why girls don't like him?
Did he ask that question?
That's a hard one. I'm going to be completely honest with you. That's a very, very difficult thing to come to say.
I don't really
It's like,
think that's your place. I think a mirror should be enough.
have you ever seen the movie The Mask? Not the one with Drew Carey, but the one from the 80s. Think about that a little bit next time going on a date.
No.
Do you remember how the things like?
Jesus.
Do you remember how the things like like the person you ended up with was blind? Yeah, find a blind girl. You'll do great.
Wait. Oh.
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 Oh God, no.
I can't see ugly, but I can sure as shit feel ugly.
Oh God, that is awful.
That's messed up.
Straight to hell. But yeah, so
What
going
was-
back.
What was the question before?
Dislike. What do you dislike in FOE? He looks a little better than the Elephant Man, but just a hair. Just a hair.
Just a smidge.
And she's
No,
trying to
no, don't do John Hurt. Oh, that's too much. David Lynch directed that film and was produced by Mel Brooks.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So it's a comedy.
there was another question in there.
Yes. What do you dislike about FOE? The orgasm count. We already went over that. There are certain times where it goes a little bit. I think a little bit too sexual to show off to a grand audience.
Little cockward. Just a little cockward.
It's a new term. Make it so, internet.
Yeah.
Um,
It's not that new. I've heard cockward before.
Make it so, internet, regardless. Yeah, no. There's times when the story goes a little bit too sexual, and that's the thing that really prevents me from buying these copies en masse and handing them to every single person I've met on the street. Aside from that, no. I mean, it's fine. And if you can get past that, it's great. So the people I can find who will actually get over that aspect of it.
Are you gonna start being like a Fallout Equestria Gideon's Bible guy? Like you go to hotels and you buy copies of Fallout Equestria and put it in the nightstand?
Yes. Yeah. Should have done before.
We should start a fundraiser specifically to produce copies of Fallout Equestria to put in hotel nightstands.
Is there anyone you would recommend FOE to with a straight face? How do you think you'd hook someone?
I've actually tried I mean, we've talked about this before, trying to find people who like Fallout.
Yeah. I could probably sell it to Bobby. Maybe.
But he doesn't read.
True.
I mean, that's the challenge.
Yeah, he doesn't read books most of the time, so that'd be a hard sell. But if you did, you might find a way to do this.
The thing is, you've got to really...
If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm holding the charger for this so that it doesn't fall down and knock everything over, so...
He's not playing with his wiener.
No. Well, no guarantees. However, that's what I'm doing with this hand. Every time this hand goes under the table.
Don't make promises that you can't keep. What are you doing over there? Priming my shake weight.
What are you doing in the bathroom all day and night? Why don't you get out and let somebody else have a chance?
Good old Marty Feld. You know what? I never get tired of those movies. Young Frankenstein is a cinematic masterpiece.
Mm.
It's funny, though. You reach a certain age, and Monty Python and the Holy Grail does not hold up anymore.
It's just because you've seen it so many times and so many people reiterate the jokes over and over.
Yeah. Maybe it's just the people that reiterate it.
Yeah, you get tired of it. Do you all watch much
man,
stand-up?
all
He
the
watches a
time.
lot. I don't
watch
watch
a
as
ton
much,
of
but
it.
I do watch quite a bit.
Even though we have a podcast, I'm a huge podcast guy too, and so I listen to a lot of comedy podcasts. Too. But I'm a huge comedy nerd. Why? Why do you ask?
I mean, I've seen
We really try not to quote
favorites.
favorites. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Currently.
I could probably, if I could remember all of them, I could go on for about 30 minutes.
I mean,
so I'm
the
not going to
ones
start.
who aren't getting in trouble for being molesters right now.
Which one of you would be more likely to pull off a stand-up comedy routine in front of thousands of people? Yeah, him. He's more the people person. I'm not a people person.
I'm way more of the extrovert. I know it's hard to tell because you're so open on the show, but that's from years of podcasting.
And it's from the fact that I'm also very familiar with the community.
Thomas,
here, so.
I agree with you. John Mulaney is a gift. He is brilliant. Yeah. Oh my God, the Salt and Pepper Diner. What's new, pussycat? Whoa, whoa, whoa! And then you got to mix in just one. Just one. Dum, 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 dum,
It's not unusual to be loved by anyone.
God damn it!
George Carlin. Lewis Black
Carlin's
was
great.
good very
Until
early
he
on.
just lost his
he just
mind.
kept doing the same joke and it stopped being funny.
That you feel is undeveloped or would be to see more development from question to both.
Is there character?
Oh, you got to see John Mulaney. That's awesome. Okay, so character that we'd love to see developed. I still want to see more stuff from Stillhose. I like him a lot. I'd love to see more. I'd love to see more depth to Velvet Remedy. We've talked about that before too. Calamity's just pretty all shucks.
I'm gonna go out there. I would K-Cat. I'm sorry. I would love a Fallout Equestria too. I'm just gonna be honest.
More like
I would eat that shit up like crazy.
Eat what shit up like crazy?
Fallout Equestria 2.
Oh, a sequel.
If there was a sequel, yeah, I would.
The Pippening. God damn it. It's Pippening!
Which one of you is more likely to end up in prison someday? Probably me.
Pip Conquers the World. So I also want to say, a couple years ago, another one of my favorite comedians is Dylan Moran. Irish comedian that was on the show Black Books. I saw him a couple years ago live, and he was fantastic. And what
Electric Pipaloo.
What sucked
The
is
search for Pip's gold.
what sucked is he was in a part of the country that didn't really know him, and so the people who were there loved him, but it wasn't a full room.
Yeah.
And he was hilarious. He still put on one hell of a show, and he even incorporated what I would consider local jokes that didn't suck.
Yeah.
I was very, very impressed with him. But the thing is, if you like comedy, go support your local comedy scene. There's lots of up-and-comers in the area. Shoot, one of my old college professors does stand-up comedian is a stand-up comedy for fun. Yeah, Pip Electric Boogaloo.
Okay, what's that third one? It's that Electric Boogaloo. There's Electric Boogaloo, The Quest for Curly's Gold, and there's a third one.
The Quest for Curly's Gold. Let's think of some other... Or we don't have to think of other comedians. Let's see here. Reggie Watts was funny, but he's kind of a gimmick.
Yeah.
He's kind of gimmicky.
I liked Christopher Titus, but he's kind of been enveloped by his psychopathy because he explained early on that he's going to lose his mind because that's just runs in his family an extraordinary amount of mental decay. So.
Eddie Murphy was great. You couldn't play a lot of Eddie Murphy specials these days.
Have you seen Oh Hello on Netflix?
Yeah, I have. It's great. Him and Nick Kroll are amazing in that. I mean, that's a great show, quite frankly. So,
yeah.
I was trying to think of some. I mean, I listen to everybody. It's hard to remember them all, but they're still pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
My wife really likes Eliza Schlesinger, and I think she does have some really funny humor mixed in there. I'm not a fan of Amy Schumer at all.
Who is?
I mean, I'm just not.
Who is? I mean, honestly,
she's a thief.
Well, she's a gimmick.
Yeah.
She's a thief and a gimmick. I mean, all of her jokes boil down to "I have a vagina." Ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
It's not funny.
There's a lot of Louis C.K. that I think is really funny.
Okay, what about prank call artist? No, I mean, it's a little bit cringy, and I don't like pranks in particular. Beat me to it, Chris. Thank you. Hypothesis question: what if K-Cat hated Fallout but loved in their post-apoc? What MLP post-apoc crossover would work?
MLP. MLP. I am No, not that.
Okay, Candace
I Am
reference, I
Legend.
said I would very much love a sequel if you were to ever do one. I know you have, on 1,000,000 occasions, never said, under any circumstance, will you ever do one, just because you don't have a vision for it. So I understand that, but I would still
So I will say,
love it.
My Little Pony, I Am Legend crossover.
That would be good. My Little Pony Stalker.
Book of Eli. Mm-hmm. You would, because that's
This pony is blind, and you don't know it until the end of the movie.
And they memorized the Book of Celestia or some shit.
Yeah, also known as Fahrenheit 451 from a different perspective. Because Ray Bradbury's initial thing was, hey, wouldn't it be cool if I create a world space where people had to remember books rather than anything else? And everybody's like, no, it's about censorship. And he's like, no, it isn't. And they're like, yes, it is. And so it's about censorship, because he doesn't have any more control over it, because once you release something to the public, you no longer own it.
Well, and once you're dead.
True. You can't contest it once you're dead. So yeah, I mean, that's the thing about creative content. Anyway.
There's a theme in Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol that's missed by many, and that it's the entire story is about ladyboys.
Death of the author. Would you rather have a head the size of a watermelon or a tennis ball? Watermelon. Tennis ball would mean that you would be very, very severely deficient in your brain process. The other one means you just look like a freak. And I'd rather look like a freak and be able to actually have cognizant thought than look like a freak and be completely mentally retarded.
I just like the idea of you having a weird, oblong, crazy head. Because any way you shake it, up or out, it's messed up. Or worse, coming and going like the Hindenburg.
Football head? Oh God, I hated that show. I don't know why I hated that show, but I hated that show. I hated Hey Arnold. It never appealed to me at all.
Oh God.
The abusive pseudo girlfriend character that always hated him because she loved him.
Bataki.
It never appealed to me. I didn't
With
like
the
it.
monobrow.
With the monobrow.
And the hot sister.
Who also kept punching the other guy. Older topic. In my youth, my favorite comedian was Stephen
master of the one-liner.
Groucho Marx. I would have to say you'd have to sell me on that. And the neurological problems associated with
hydrocephalus. Yeah, that's a problem. But you were mentioning Groucho Marx. I would not classify Groucho as a stand-up comedian.
Well, true, but he was the master of one-liners.
He was a vaudevillian performer.
But the master of one-liners. And you could argue that vaudeville was a very early
I'd say Norm
form.
Macdonald is the master of one-liners.
How do I reconcile with the fact that I haven't changed my drawers for 3 days
I don't
in a
know.
row?
Stanky drawers cottage cheese feet. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Are you a bachelor? Do you have any girlfriend? If no, that is normal behavior.
Or boyfriend.
Are you in a relationship? Let's put it that way. If you're in a relationship,
thank you,
how
sir.
dare you? If you're not in a relationship, yeah, that happens. You're just like, oh God, I haven't actually.
Chris hasn't bathed in 3 weeks.
Yeah. I'm surprised he's this close, because he should be dying.
It's pretty rank, but the bourbon helps.
It smells like salt and vinegar chips, mixed with a very, very strong cheese. No pressure on that side. Yes, then that's absolutely normal behavior. It's a guy thing. If you're a guy, if you're a girl,
how many bullets has Pip fired?
That's in the book. Oh, I'd like a running counter. However, I have no idea. However, it also does say in the book that she fires that she keeps shooting, but it doesn't say how many, so there's no way to tell. Blam.
Blam.
Blam. It should be known that Robert hears the audiobook version of the book, so he gets a little bit more fun than the rest of us because I'm guessing that everybody here who's read the book read it in a digital format on the internet.
Does your phone take this charger?
Yes, it does. Push it in. Stop being a puss. Be a man.
I'm not gonna.
Be a man.
I don't want to break your phone.
You can be a man.
Please don't break my charger.
I don't think you're going to charge it. Okay. So yeah, we were charging my phone, so my phone has our.
Is it charging?
Yes, it's connected.
Oh, I'll be darned.
Stop being a puss.
Passes. Yeah, it happens.
Somebody did trying to keep a running tally of how often she passes out. Try. Yeah, she does that a lot. But I mean, the question becomes: is a memory orb technically passing out? Because to the outside world, she has passed out. I mean, she's passed out for all intents and purposes. She's just having a very specific dream.
So I want to say we're probably going to, if you had 2 wishes, what would you wish for? Well, step 1, wish for more wishes. Step 2, wish that there were never any wishes to begin with.
In my defense, that was a Fallout mechanic inspired thing. I'd have to hear that one to know how that works. If you had 2 wishes, what would you wish for? I wouldn't wish for infinite wishes. That's stupid. The question is,
I just said more.
What gave me the wishes? If it's a monkey's paw, I would never have any of them. Good God's sake, no.
CG, that's you.
How different would you think the FOE lore would be had Twilight been an Alicorn by the time of writing? It didn't actually have to change because she got locked away underground. She couldn't escape by wings. Therefore, it's the same. I mean, it doesn't change anything. I wish I hadn't picked up this paw. Oh God, that would be the worst. That would be the worst wish. I guarantee you, that would be the wish that would destroy the universe. So, no monkey's paw. If it was a monkey's paw, I would not do it. If it was a genie, I would try to go with. I would actually find a contract lawyer to find a dream. And if it was just some kind of you get whatever you want, I would kind of go with probably.
The problem with genies is that anytime you get your wish, it's at the sacrifice of something else.
Well, the monkey's paw is you get your wish at the sacrifice of your own life. You always die. And not only do you die, but everyone around you suffers misery. So, no monkey's paw.
Yeah.
Ever.
I should probably say we're probably going to be winding up the stream here because we've almost done 2 hours. So thank you for those of you who've been here the entire time. Yes. But I just wanted to say thank you for tuning in and all of the amazing questions. But
we're running out of power on both devices.
Right, I was going to say, if there's anything y'all want us to talk about before we do head out, I just want to give you an opportunity because we'll probably be closing up shop here soon in a minute.
I can't drink anymore.
Getting back to our wives
I'm out
and
of
families.
liquid.
Yeah.
I can't push myself because I don't want to hang over tomorrow.
Push you because you're close to the edge. We're getting pings here.
Thanks for the stream. Thanks, guys. Yeah. So, yeah.
I'm tickled y'all hopped on. I mean, we love doing
been fun.
this. I really.
I just wanted to have a wonderful night.
Thanks, Thomas.
But the taint would probably have a different effect on an alicorn. Maybe. We don't know.
You know who's the only person who could actually say about that?
K-Cat. Except K-Cat says that whatever is in the book is in the book. Whatever isn't in the book.
Yes, K-Cat. There will be one next Wednesday.
I apologize.
Don't quit it. Quit it with the apologies. It's always apologies. It just happens.
Well, what can I do? I can say it's either I'm sorry or it's tough shit. Deal with it. It's your problem.
In fairness, in lieu of an episode, we gave 4 hours of streaming.
Yeah. And we're going to continue the Fallout stream, so that's going to be fun. We're going to see how far we get in that.
We will continue TTW.
Yep, that'll be exciting.
What will likely happen is Sundays will continue to be when we record the episode, and then we'll probably hop on and do a stream of
we'll probably do the after show on Fallout. Because if we do an after show on Fallout, I think it'll be a
And I think as it is, you'll play some, I'll play some. We'll just kind of trade off whatever's easiest. Right now we're using Shadowplay, which doesn't have the best quality for audio, but otherwise it's fine.
Yeah. Would you rather date a penguin or an owl? Owl. Easily.
Interesting.
Yeah. Smarter.
Not really. It's pretty thoroughly defined.
Okay. Then it is. I don't remember what it is right now. I've had far too much bourbon, so I couldn't tell you. Rob, how do you feel about Pip's reverence to Celestia and Luna throughout the book?
Well, she was indoctrinated. So.
No, I think he means specifically the swearing. I could be wrong, but I think it's the swearing.
I mean, how do I feel about it? Fine. I don't know.
By Celestia's orgasms. Nope, the gravity having someone thought was a god, but not. Well, I think in the story they are gods. They're gods that died.
So think DC, Gods Amongst Us.
Mm-hmm. Also known as the time that Apocalypse killed Superman?
Apocalypse. Yeah. I mean, it's a unique universe, to say in the least, that the gods literally walk amongst you.
I think it's the coolest thing that there's a theocracy where the gods exist and are kind of over there. It's like think about it in our society. It's like, where's God? God is amongst all of us. Well, where's God? God's over in Pennsylvania.
Oh, there she is.
Yeah, there they are. You can go say hi.
She told us to build her a castle.
Yeah,
We did.
Yeah, or they didn't, and we just decided to build a castle because holy shit, God's right here.
The thing I have a hard time wrapping my head around is the fact that Celestia would take on, fuck buddies, essentially.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. It makes sense.
Makes sense?
Makes sense.
Only the Institute makes sense.
If one of us was a robot, going back to a much earlier question.
Am I a robot?
Well, no, I mean, to answer your question fully, there's no evidence that they aren't gods. Just because they're gods doesn't mean they're immortal. Technically, if I remember right, Greek gods were mortal.
Well, they weren't mortal, but they could be killed.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying they separated themselves from mortals, but
Yeah.
they absolutely could die.
Do you think gingers should have the same rights as normal people, or should we send them to special camps? We shouldn't send them to special camps, we should send them to Minnesota. Done.
No, why not Ireland? Why not just concentrate it?
Minnesota, because it's the land of 10,000 lakes and they'll all drown because they can't swim.
Wow.
There's only creatures with souls.
I don't. They'll sink like a stone.
That's the old Salem method of finding if something doesn't have a soul, if they can swim. So, if gingers can't swim, then keep them there and they'll end up killing themselves off by trying to walk through the lakes.
How about somewhere actually in the middle of a large body of water, like, I don't know, Bermuda, Hawaii, Australia?
If you were to be the designer of Walter Stable, what would your experiment be?
Do humans need toenails?
Really specific one, and the answer is no.
No, sorry. What would the experiment be? Can a vault subsist entirely off of potatoes?
Ireland. Yes, I can.
And then you introduce a blight to the potatoes. I call it the microcosm of Ireland.
If I was in charge of a vault and had to have only one experiment to go off of, my question would be, or my experiment would be, what would language look like if it was only vowels? And anyone who used consonants was put to death.
If you could only have one limb, would you prefer an arm and a leg? An arm.
Arm.
Absolutely.
Wheelchairs exist. There's nothing to replace arms, really, as far as versatility. Yeah.
As long as you have a hand. Oh, no.
It would be NASA's moon simulator.
John Madden.
John Madden. Not yet. Well, I mean, one day, yes, they'll have something to replace a hand, but we don't have it yet. And if I know the question wasn't for everyone, but if everyone lost their hands, we'd be shit out of luck. Because there'd be no way to work, unless we manipulate it with our mouths, but we're not ponies, so it doesn't work.
Are there penguin whores? You know what?
I don't know.
God, I hope not.
I do not know. I do not know if they sell their bodies. It makes sense that they kind of would. Some penguins, the penguins who use the actual rocks to breed with their mates, it makes sense they would kind of use whoever.
Excuse me.
Made the most.
You don't have any more to
I
consume.
don't have any more to consume.
Oh, boo-hoo.
I'm kind of dizzy because it's drunk. I'm drunk.
Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Both of you, take your chances. You get to take your chances in the FOE world with one of the factions. Which one would you figure you'd thrive the best? Guardian or Grimfeathers?
I was going to say, you'd do great with the mercenaries.
Yeah.
I would be the...
I'd be the lawyer, so I'd sit in the back room and do paperwork all day.
Jeez. I'd be the Brotherhood of Steel, but the outcasts.
The Applejacks Rangers.
Applejacks Rangers, hell yeah. All right, y'all. This has been a lot of fun. We'll have to do this again soon. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. Please let us know. I keep getting low battery warnings here.
Yeah,
so
we're literally going between the two phones.
Thank you for all the questions. Thanks for hanging out with us. I had a really good time. We would like to do a hangout soon to actually hear your voice. I know not all of you may not want to do that, but if you do, great.
And don't worry about the quality of what your recording voices
We
don't care.
So, thanks. For Chris, I'm Robert. This has been Hanging Out After Thanksgiving. We love y'all. Have a good time. We'll talk to you again soon. Yep.